You have me wanting to listen to that Bradley Cooper song from Star Is Born Now.
Tune, man.
It is a good song.
We'll have to see if Marissa could scare that up for us.
Kathy, could you sing it for us?
Oh, my God. Stop
Please,
it.
come on. And a 1, and a 2.
And a 1,
All right,
and a 2.
Marissa found, here you go. Here's the Crazy Heart line from the song, which is, what was the name of it? The Weary Kind. So
Right.
here we go.
Pick up your crazy heart, give it one more try.
That's why I thought the name of the song was Crazy Heart.
Understandable.
Oh, and that's all we have.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you for
about that.
isolating
That's
that
a Cliff
for us.
Notes version.
I appreciate that. We'll get the
Who
Bradley
needs
Cooper
to hear the whole song when you got that part?
a little bit later on. All right, let's see. We'll go into some entertainment news, and we'll start with the wildfires, obviously, the big story, and several of them that I have for you involve that subject. Ben Affleck's home in Brentwood was visited by FBI agents and local police this weekend, and he's not in any trouble. Apparently, police were stopping by as part of an investigation into unauthorized drone activity during the fires in Los Angeles. And the FBI press relations shared that the members of the FBI's Ground Interception Task Force are conducting activity in the area relative to unauthorized drone activity. You can imagine there are people flying drones to get footage of that area, but they're also having in these aircraft coming in.
They're impacting that,
invading the space. So they said agents and our local partners may be visible through the area, including at various residences for this reason. And the agents were at Affleck's home to see if he has security footage of a private drone which damaged a Super Scooper, one of the firefighting aircrafts.
They know he's Batman.
Ben's house is currently under evacuation order, but as so far has not been damaged.
Yeah, that Super Scooper was grounded for like a week because the damage was done to the wing. So, that's a plane that they need in fighting these fires, and some idiot was just flying a drone way too close to it.
Yep. Speaking of all this, this is a weird little thing to happen. Usually a number one album is cause for celebration. Perhaps this time it is as well, but the circumstances are both unusual and sad. After losing everything in the wildfires, Spencer Pratt made an appeal on social media, not for charity, but for people looking to help him and his wife, Heidi Montag, out by purchasing her 2010 album Superficial online. When it was released, the album was a flop. But with the Stars of the Hills appealing to their fans and followers, things are a bit different this time. Superficial has rocketed to number 1 on the iTunes album charts in just days, beating out Bad Bunny and the Wicked soundtrack. The title track also hit number 1 on the iTunes single chart, while Montag's tune, I'll Do It, also came in at number 7.
I'll do it.
On her Instagram stories on Saturday, she wrote, "Thank you so much for everyone. Number 1 on iTunes chart. Oh my gosh. Thank you for the overwhelming love and support. My music really rallying behind us in this devastating time and making it such a blessing." So that's a weird little thing.
What benefited her, well, not that this was the modus operandi, I just think it was a confluence of events, but hers was one of the first videos I saw of crying and responding to the fires bearing down on their house. And so I think that's what caught everyone's
But I don't quite get the connection to the song. Why did it do so
They're
well?
asking for help.
You're donating to them basically by supporting the album.
So you download the record or whatever, and that helps people that are going through it? All this stuff?
That helps them.
I see.
Yeah, so it's mind-boggling as the Los Angeles burns and lives and property are lost, that there are some that are trying to actually keep that devastation going by attempting to start more wildfires. And David Spade, of course, finds nothing funny about that. In fact, he's offering a reward to those that help catch the arsonist. And on his Instagram stories over the weekend, he said, "I'm out in California. People are saying that there's guys lighting fires out there, making this crap worse. So if you can find someone lighting a fire and you catch somebody and you get the cops to bust them and throw them in jail, I'll give you $5,000. So keep your eyes peeled and do what you can out there."
There was video footage of Whitney Cummings outside her house. One of her neighbors said they had spotted some guy with a can of accelerant, pouring it down the sewer and trying to light it on fire.
Yeah,
so
there's nut jobs. There's absolutely nut jobs out there doing what nut jobs do. Netflix is stepping up with a $10 million donation to help those impacted by the fires. The CEO, Ted Sarandos, said, "Our hearts go out to everyone who has been affected." And this was to his Netflix employees. And he explains that $10 million will be split between the LA Fire Department Foundation, California Community Fire Wildlife Recovery Fund, World Central Kitchen, Motion Picture and Television Fund, and Entertainment Community Fund. He also expressed gratitude to first responders, calling them the real action heroes. The memo included how Netflix is helping their affected employees, saying that they will provide direct assistance with temporary housing needs for those who lost their homes, as well as double matching all employees' contributions to charities. He added that Los Angeles is more than palm trees and red carpets. It's a family, one made of extraordinary, talented, hardworking people from all over the world and all walks of life. And it's hard to imagine rebuilding, but we will, and we will come back stronger than before. So they are donating $10 million. And for the second time, the announcement of the Academy Award nominations has been delayed due to the fires. The noms will now be revealed on Thursday, the 23rd. So a week from this Thursday. The Academy already had delayed that announcement once, moving last week from Friday, January 17th to Sunday the 19th. The live announcement will be a virtual event without in-person media coverage. With the postponement, the Academy has extended the voting period again as well, which is now set to end on January 17th. And it's also been announced that the Academy intends to go forward with the award show as scheduled on March 2nd, though they added that all dates remain subject to change. Now, outside of fire stuff, we'll go with this. Jessica Simpson and her husband, Eric Johnson, have separated after 10 years of marriage.
Yeah, it looked like it was going this way. That was the rumor, and here you go.
She said in a statement on Monday, Eric and I have been living separately, navigating a painful situation in our marriage. Our children come first. We're focusing on what is best for them. We are grateful for all the love and support that has been coming our way and appreciate privacy right now as we work through this as a family. The pair's marriage had been subject to breakup rumors for months after fans noticed that the former NFL pro hadn't made an appearance on Simpson's Instagram page since 2023. What's more, the singer's fans noticed that she hasn't been wearing her wedding ring since January of last year, with Johnson following suit in recent months.
So I was looking through the article, Preston, one of the articles about this, and they were going through her dating history. I forgot that she was with Johnny Knoxville for a while, yeah.
The pair, who tied the knot in 2014 after 4 years of dating, share 3 children, Maxwell, Ace, and Birdie. Two of those are golf references.
Oh, that's funny.
And Ace is a hole-in-one and a birdie.
Oh, there you go.
that's
What's
funny.
Maxwell? No,
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maxwell.
It's a coffee.
That's a coffee.
Yeah.
They must drink coffee and then you go play golf.
Go play golf. Yeah.
So the family was last week forced to leave their California home amid the fires as well. While it's unclear if they've returned or whether their home is intact. Alarm bells about the pair's marriage woes were raised after Johnson was noticeably absent from a family photo shoot posted to Instagram by Simpson earlier in September.
Could you step out of this? This is a family photo. I'm your husband.
As the fashion designer celebrated their kids' first day back to school, the former athlete was nowhere to be seen in the photos. News of the pair's decision to call it quits comes just months after it was reported that they were living separate lives. They had kick-started their romance in May of 2010 when Johnson was still married to his first wife, Carrie D'Angelo. He and D'Angelo eventually finalized their divorce in October of 2010, giving way for his romance with Simpson to flourish.
Who was she with at that time? She was with the quarterback, from the...
Oh, Tony Romo?
Tony Romo. That's who she was with at that time, yeah.
In 2010?
I think so. I think that was the case. Kathy, her pocketbook line or whatever, she made a fortune over some...
I think
was it pocketbooks?
It was shoes and bags and clothes. It was everything. And I think
she's like a near billionaire.
I think she is. I think it pushed her to billionaire status.
Like a billion?
It's
like a billion.
Oh,
Jesus,
okay.
wow.
Here's her accountant. Yeah.
That's her accountant? Okay. How much do we have?
He's very excited. It's tax season.
All right, now we have the Bradley Cooper song to play. So we're going back to that.
Yes,
We're
I want to
resolving
hear
all
it.
this.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's called Maybe It's Time.
Yeah.
And so I thought this was the song they were
this is a good
referring to.
song.
This is a great
Yeah.
song.
Safe light repairs.
Safe light replace.
How do you replace you when it gets a ding?
So there you go. We got it all cleared up. Hey, I gotta backtrack just a moment. I'm sorry,
Please.
Marissa.
I'm Kathy, but it's okay.
Well, it's Marissa's mom's birthday.
You looked at me.
And I left that out of the birthdays. It's Conra's birthday today. Conra Magnata. Did I say Ragmata?
Ragmata?
Conra Magnata.
What the hell is going on?
Is celebrating her birthday.
That's when your palms bleed.
Can I say how old she is, or would you rather not? Probably not, right?
I
don't
think
wanna-
over a certain age, they stop caring, right?
Okay.
No, then they become proud of it.
Conra Magnata. And she was the inspiration for Conra Air, the movie with Nicolas Cage.
Happy 73rd birthday to Conra. Sorry, I forgot that, Marissa. I meant
Don't
to
you
do
feel
that.
like our parents, like your parents or my parents? Like when I hear her name, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's so
totally.
Yes,
sweet.
absolutely. And they're all very sweet.
I need to backtrack. Jessica Simpson is not a billionaire. I wish I thought I did hear that, but
not.
it
Yeah,
says-
They've
She's
thrown
like
that
a billionaire.
out there
Well,
before.
the revenue's over $1 billion, Kath.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so it says her net worth is $200 million.
And that's primarily from the fashion stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is, yes.
Accessories, shoes, perfume, luggage, Steve. So, but the Jessica Simpson collection, obviously her namesake, that's worth $1 billion.
So when they sometimes when they throw out there that so and so's line is $1 billion industry, doesn't necessarily mean that person
Right.
has $1 billion.
Okay.
It's generated revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what else we have here. All right, here's something that happened in an Eagles game at the last Eagles game. So less than 2 weeks after the news broke that Paige DeSorbo and Craig Conover split, DeSorbo was spotted taking in the Eagles game with some male company. And I don't know who the hell this person is, but apparently they were on Summer House.
Summer House?
Yes.
That's my favorite show.
They were at the Eagles game on Sunday.
Summer House.
Marissa's got her hand up. I think maybe she has some
Okay.
insight on this.
This meant nothing to me, but my friends I was with the game were so excited about this. So she posted a selfie from the bathroom. And they were like, why is she at the game? And then literally the entire stadium that does care about this was trying to figure out who this guy is. Do
Wait,
you
the
have-
entire stadium?
that cares about
That
this?
cared. She said
I
the
had an
people that
asterisk.
cared.
I said
The
people
small
that care.
percentage of the stadium that cared.
Your friends watch this show, Summer House?
Religiously.
What is it about?
It's Bravo. Oh, okay. So, do you guys know that drink called Loverboy? Well, so
Wears a headband?
they created Loverboy. It is a bunch of people who live in a house. They were all like friends during the summer, but during COVID, they all potted together, and then the show really blew up.
All right.
But
It's a reality show,
It's
right?
a reality show. It's a
Yeah.
Bravo show.
Okay.
It's just part of that
It's like
world.
Jersey Shore, Real World,
Yeah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
Okay.
But do
All
you
right.
have who the guy is?
No, it was Mystery Man.
Oh.
So she is seen sitting and talking
Please, no
comfortably
pictures.
with the Mystery Man.
I made that for you.
That's so cute.
That's my version of creme brulee.
The question is, has she moved on? There's no indication that it's not just a friend or even someone sitting coincidentally next to her, but they seem chatty enough in the video. I thought I'd share that with you. So Kendra Wilkinson got her start as a Playboy model and girlfriend of Hugh Hefner before moving on to reality television. Of course, her Playboy days are far behind her, and time does what it does to all of us, models included. And people have started dragging her for gaining a little bit of weight, and she's clapping back. And by the way, I took a look at a picture of her. She looks average.
She looks
That's it.
fine.
She looks just average.
Yeah.
She's not Playboy model,
No,
but she
she
is
looks
certainly
fine.
not out of control or anything like that. And she wrote,
God,
yes, I've gained weight. Yes, I'm aging. Yes, I'm not that girl I was before, Playboy. But for once in a long time, I feel good and mentally healthy. She wrote alongside her full mirror selfie. For those of you hating on my new weight, 40-year-old face, please know that I'm happy, healthy, and at peace in life, finally. Leave me alone and respect that I'm where I actually want to be, finally, all together.
So she was one of the first. She was one of the flashpoints in reality TV with like the Girls Next Door, and then that whole Hank Basket thing that was her husband and then ex-husband, and then she did a short-lived paranormal show, reality show. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah, so she's, she looks fine. She looks average, so good for her. Animator Buck Woodall has filed a lawsuit against Disney, claiming that they stole elements of his screenplay Bucky for the Moana franchise.
Sons of bitches.
The lawsuit alleges that Disney used key elements from his work, including a teenager who defies parental warnings and embarks on a dangerous voyage,
That's never been done before.
Polynesian culture themes,
All right, I'm
and
listening.
demigod character with a giant hook.
Okay.
Woodall accuses Jenny Marchik, formerly of Mandeville Films and now at DreamWorks, of sharing his copyrighted materials with Disney, calling it a conspiratorial machinery of stealing Bucky. That was the name of it. After a previous lawsuit was dismissed for being filed too late, Moana 2's release has now allowed him to submit his claim again. He is seeking at least $10 billion in damages.
Oh, my God. That's like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
Disney has not commented on the newest claims, but previously stated that no one who worked on Moana saw Woodall's materials. So,
I mean, listen, they're
where that
forever
goes.
fighting claims like this.
Yeah.
But sometimes
every now and then,
they pay it
somebody
out.
stole something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you never know. But sometimes it's somebody having similar ideas. They're
That's it.
completely independent of each
Yep.
other. It can happen both ways.
What did you guys hear about Moana?
I saw it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Did you like the first one?
I loved it. I just heard that the second one was. I read that it was not good at all.
I don't know. I saw it with my nephews and my niece, and
you liked it?
Yeah, I had
Okay.
a really good time, and maybe I'm sure the company had something to do with it. But yeah, we all had fun.
Did you like the music?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yeah.
this article talked about the music, and
I loved it because we had the people
Well,
in
yeah,
our
that's-
Yeah, Emily Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
right.
incredible. But wait a minute. Did they write that the music was less than good?
That it didn't pair with Moana like the first
Oh.
soundtrack
I don't know. Like
did.
when it comes to sequels for movies like this, it takes a few watches for me, and especially with musicals, because like the first one, when they pop out of the gate, they're just they feel and are original, and so when you watch the sequel to it, it kind of reminds you of what Moana 1 was, but then it's different songs, so you have to kind of get into that vibe. And Steve, I'm kind of like you with the original, with the first Moana. I liked it when I first saw it, and then subsequent viewings, I liked it more and more.
Same dynamic. I was surrounded by kids,
Yeah.
watching it on the screen at home and the big screen. And I'm like, oh my God, this is excellent.
Yeah.
The first time I was not that blown away. And I mean, the song they performed here in the studio was sensational.
Yeah.
But Kath, Rotten Tomatoes gave the first Moana 95% and the second one 61%.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
Big difference.
All right. Here's an interesting story. The play that inspired the Golden Globe nominated film Sing Sing is hitting the stage again on February 3rd at the New York Theater Workshop. The closed event reunites the formerly incarcerated actors from the movie and will be followed by a post-performance Q&A, which is hosted by Succession star J. Smith Cameron. Casey, she's the gal who played Jerry
Oh, yeah.
in the series, who we
yeah.
loved. And Nick, I know you loved her character too. The movie, based on a true story, stars some of the formerly incarcerated men from Sing Sing Correctional Facility as themselves, alongside Coleman Domingo, who plays a man wrongfully imprisoned for a crime that he didn't commit,
Hear that movie's great.
and find purpose through the prison's rehabilitation through the arts program. So that is going to be showing in New York.
Speaking of Succession, my son is now taking a deep dive into Black Mirror, so I ended up watching an episode with him yesterday, and it's so wild to go back and watch old episodes. You're like, oh, that's the dude from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, yeah,
and then
yeah.
in that same episode,
You see people coming up the ranks.
the goalkeeper for Ted Lasso and the chick from Succession, I forget her name, but she played the daughter in Succession. I forget both names, the character name and the actress's name.
Shiv?
Shiv, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she was in an episode of
Sarah
Black
Smith.
Mirror?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Speaking of Succession, the creator, Jesse Armstrong, is coming back to HBO with an original movie. This time around, Armstrong is working on a movie focused on four friends who meet up during an international financial crisis. The Succession creator is also writing the script, and the movie for HBO is expected to start production later this year.
I'm curious because the title of this one is Moana 3, and it seems to have no relationship at all to anything Polynesian or whatever.
Maybe they'll have some success with that. All right, and then the last thing I wanted to mention, if you think that you have what it takes to host Saturday Night Live, now's your chance to find out. The long-running sketch show is launching an immersive experience at New York City's Rockefeller Center, which will give fans a chance to try their hand at hosting. The experience, live from New York, the SNL 50 experience, will allow guests to have both the on-camera magic and off-camera rush of SNL with surprises and callbacks around every corner. according to NBC. And if you need a little extra push to check it out, the experience is free and open to the public, although reservations are on a first-come, first-served basis.
I don't know if they still do this. One of the great fun things used to be, Preston, to go into the city, to go to Rockefeller Center and take the tour of NBC. In fact, my dad, when he was a young man, was one of the tour guides at NBC.
Oh, wow,
one of the
really?
pages who would lead the tours around.
I have to believe that they would, right?
I think they would. I don't know, with security or whatever, if they've since, done away with that. But I remember taking it a couple of times in Preston. You'd go up to the original Tonight Show studio at that time. Letterman studio was there. The Today Show set and all that stuff. It was great. And then they had also the radio division in there. So you'd see all that stuff as well.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't look into that. That would be a cool tour.
I wonder what it'd be like to be at a radio station.
All right, and then, by the way, this experience will run from January 30th through February 2nd, so it's a very small window. All right, we got clips. Christopher Abbott stars as Wolfman in the new horror fantasy remake, and here he talks about how he showed expression through the prosthetics.
I had to do something that I would never do normally, which is like look at myself in the mirror and like not act a little bit, but like sort of do faces and do. I would never do that. I would, But it's really that you need to make sure you're conveying. You have a different face on, so you need to make sure you're conveying what you need to convey, and hopefully that comes across.
That's acting.
Wolfman is in theaters this Friday, by the way. Here's our next clip. On Call is a police drama series that is set in Long Beach, California. The series adds unique body and dash cam footage. And in this clip, actor Rich Ting highlights how those edits speak to the realities of the police force.
I've seen it now, like at home, and it transports the audience, the viewer, into the front seat of a ride-along experience. What it's like to roll up to a scene of a crime, to be in a pursuit. The stakes are so high, and you get this amazing. It's like the only way I can describe it is like positive anxiety.
Shut up, dummy.
I threw the sheet away.
That's all right.
It premieres on a day and a time.
With the whole
Man,
bunch
I
of
was
stuff.
trying to jump ahead and get some other stuff done. Hang on.
This just in
I gotta look at
from
the
the garbage files.
And
now from the garbage files.
I'm actually in the trash can now. On Call is streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
Put your head down a little bit more so you get it.
On Call. Hang on. No, wait, there's more trash. I got to move it on.
And now from the garbage files.
Hang on. On Call is streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
There's your new character, the garbage man, and all the stories are delivered from the
Every single one of them.
Preston.
I have to do like this.
Look, all right.
What?
If you've never keep doing what you're doing. If you've never tuned into our YouTube channel, just give it about 10 seconds because Preston's entire head is in the trash can.
You want me to stay like this?
No. Just for a
It's
moment.
a cool sound.
Yeah, so people can dial it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now from the garbage files, Preston Elliott.
Garbage man.
You could actually use it as a percussive instrument at the same time. Rap with it.
From Touchstone Pictures, Moana 3.
I'm not going to freestyle, Case. I know
man.
you want me to do that, but I don't have that ability. But
Say
I could.
flat, repair. Say flat, replace. It's good.
Can I
Good
take
stuff.
this? Can I move this?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Well done.
It's good stuff.
Joke's on you. We've been in commercial for 5 minutes.
All right, that's the garbage report, and we need to take a break because we got some stuff to get to. I want to make sure you're with the bizarre file today because there's so many good stories.
Good.
That I saved a couple from yesterday because we didn't have time to get to them, but there's just some juicy stuff that I want to share with you, and that'll be about 45 minutes from now or so. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second. We'll get into a few other things. Sun's coming up. Let's share it together.
Mustard!
My God.
It's a Friday.
It is a Friday, isn't it?
I know. Wow.
Well, now I want to go watch Braveheart.
I think they actually
They're making love.
They're pounding the actual mustard seeds right
Pounding
now.
the mustard seeds. Pounding them out. 1 mustard seed. 2 mustard seeds.
Slapping him down.
Slapping them down. Slap it to base.
Now we've gone to I Love You Man.
Yes. Here we go.
Wow, they eat plates and
I don't want it. I don't want to have
I will
dip
try
in.
it.
You don't want to? Oh, yes.
I'm chewing tobacco, so I'm just trying to be healthy, guys.
Thank you, Marissa. That's
I
right.
don't want to sully the taste of the tobacco.
All right, so we have each have a small piece of watermelon, and we have a little dollop of mustard.
Do a dollop.
Hang
Is this
on.
regular yellow mustard, Marissa? All right,
Wait. Don't do
What?
it. Oh, I want to do a countdown. I want to get everybody ready.
Okay.
Oh, we're all going to do it at the same time?
Yeah,
Just like they do in a temple.
I'm going first. I'm sorry. You guys, hang on. That way I'm not, I can talk while you guys are chewing.
All right.
All right.
In 3.
1, 2, 3.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, you're not a fan? All right.
That's horrible. There's
No.
nothing appealing about
Nope.
that at all. Not in the slightest.
Well, maybe it was the mustard. Get different mustard.
No.
No?
No. It doesn't belong on watermelon. Kathy?
I do love mustard, though.
I don't mind
And
it.
I love watermelon.
I think it's two separate things that I like,
I
but
agree.
I don't have the reaction that you have that it was disgusting.
I think it has to be marketed as two great tastes that are horrible together.
There you go.
Wait, didn't your son make you like a peanut butter and tuna fish sandwich once because he knew that you liked both?
No, it was Gadzooks ice cream and shrimp. They were two of his favorite things, and he said they must taste great together. I let him learn that one on his own. Dogs can get sunburn.
Yep, like people, dogs exposed to too much sun can develop some skin cancers and things like that, and you'll see their skin will actually get a little bit pink or red.
Yeah, so Fozzie was looking all majestic and just laying in the
You made love
driveway
to him, didn't you?
yesterday. I did not, Steve.
What'd you say?
You made love to him, too.
He's big enough. You could.
No, that's Reggie.
Oh, Reggie's the larger one.
Fozzie, I would split in half.
Case and jeez.
Oh, why did I say that?
I sent you down that path, didn't I? And now you're thinking about banging your dogs.
Connor's face in the other room. He's like, oh my God. Wow.
Yikes.
Okay.
God damn, that dog's looking good.
Oh my god.
You know what? Okay, I'm going to bring this up because I don't know when I'll have another opportunity to do so. But Stevie sent me
Okay,
this.
fancy boy.
You sent me this article about the best brownies in Philly.
Oh.
And it's essentially just a list, and it's huge.
There's about 50 of them.
It's way too big to go through.
We are in the best of times when it comes to brownies in Philadelphia.
Yeah, what I didn't know was how many places are known for their brownies. And there's a lot of them. So there's Cake Life Bake Shop, Second Daughter Baking Company, Franklin Fountain, Dolce, Crust Vegan Bakery, the
love
Frosted Fox Cake Shop. What's that, Kath? What do you love?
Franklin Fountain.
Yeah, but you got to make sure you're either A, ready to wait in line, or B, get there
Yeah.
at a time where there's not a
Yeah.
line, because it's really popular. It's fantastic. It's so good. You guys ever been? It's right on.
I have not, no.
It's on Market, and it's great. It's really
Is it a bakery?
It's like an ice cream shop, like an old-timey ice cream shop. Yeah, and so you go in and they have really good ice cream and really good dessert treats. So it's worth it. It's just not cheap, and you got to wait.
Nick, a friend of mine did her wedding pictures there.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it was cute.
It's a cool spot.
All right. Cookie or brownie?
Cookie.
Ooh.
Man.
I used to be brownie, but I feel like now I would do a cookie.
Okay.
I'd do a cookie.
If I saw them sitting out, I would go for a brownie anytime.
Yeah?
Really?
I think I might go brownie.
Wow. Okay.
Because I do the chocolate chip cookie is my favorite. However, a well-made brownie. Also there's a company that actually of the companies that do mail order brownies. Fairy Tale Brownies is a great company. If you've ever used them, they have their top level brownies. But yeah, that's neck and neck. Brownies
All
are
right.
sensational.
Brownie or cupcake?
Brownie.
Brownie.
Yeah, I'd go with brownie. For your cupcake?
Cupcake.
Okay.
The thing with the brownies, though, I feel like, and I don't know if it's like as I age, my sense of taste gets even more sensitive. I don't know. But like, I feel like if it's not super well made, I can taste like the mix
Really?
instead of, yeah.
See, after you get a hysterectomy, that goes away.
Stop. I hate you.
I remember seeing the history of brownies and why they were created. And it was, I forgot the name of the place, but it was so that people could, I think, take them to the beach or something like that.
Seriously?
And so the brownie has a thicker consistency than a piece of cake. Like the cake would be too crumbly and fall apart.
It's more cohesive.
And yeah, so there's a little more goo to
Yeah.
it. In case if you want to
Right.
have some of that.
Goo.
It's I
Billy
need
Madison.
that sound clip from Billy Madison.
Madison, yeah.
When he notices a kid peed his pants.
The The thing about a brownie for me is that the cookie is a little more pedestrian, right? Like a cookie is sort of an everyday dessert, whereas the brownie
All
is
right, fancy boy.
right? Yeah, I feel like a little bit of a fancy boy.
You're too good for
Like it's
Philly.
special?
A fancy Nancy, if you will. When a brownie shows up, I'm like, look at that little treat.
Look at Nick with his little waistcoat.
Thank you.
No, I understand that. I think though that they're easy to make. Brownies,
Right.
Even
Brownies are easy to make. Brownies are super easy to make. They're just as easy as cookies. I'm standing firm on this. Cookies are far superior than brownies.
Far superior?
Far superior.
Oh,
and
man.
there's a reason why there's more of them, and it's more because they're better. They're just better. And it's not to say that brownies aren't good. They're good. They're just not as good as cookies.
I think they need more of them to make up for the fact that they're not as good as brownies. They say, hey, we have diluted the market with this product, and we're going to try to catch up to the brownie people.
I think the tough part about, and the reason there are more cookies is because, and if you're talking like when you go to the grocery store, cookies are more rigid. They're easier to package. You can put more of them together.
Yes.
Brownies can kind of, there's a shelf life on them. Some cookies can last for a while.
Brownies don't
Chips
have
Ahoy.
that luxury.
No.
And even if you do the brownie bites, which I think are sensational, brownie bites do have that preservative taste to them.
Let me ask you a question. Why do brownies have to be as thick as they are? You can kind of cut them in half first, right? Before you cut them into their little squares and stuff like that. You could essentially cut the tops and
Like
the bottoms
a
off.
piece of brownie cake.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want
Yeah.
with your damn brownie.
Yeah. I don't know. Make thinner brownies.
Yeah.
At your home when you make them.
Yeah, our brownies are usually pretty thin anyway.
Yeah. Okay. You okay? You all right?
I'm fine.
Everything good?
You guys, Steve,
What?
you cut me deep here, man.
How did I cut you deep?
Because you went with brownies over cookies. And I thought I knew
He
you.
feels betrayed.
I thought I knew something.
I love chocolate chip cookies, but if I have if there is listen, they're right neck and neck, but I do love a damn good brownie. But chocolate chip, they're
It's like Godfather 1 or 2, Steve.
Yeah, it changes from time-
Goes
yeah,
from
yeah,
time to time.
absolutely.
You lean one way or the other.
All right. Goo!
All right.
There it is.
Now he's got it.
I got it.
There's more goo in a brownie. All right. By the way, Steve, this list of brownie places, what's the
I was
source?
saying the Inquirer.
The Inquirer.
Yeah.
Okay. So
The
you can
Inky.
You can go on and find a list of great brownies, if you will, if you check the Inquirer's website. All right. What?
What?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Let me go to Mario. I was going to wrap up there. Hey, Mario. Good morning.
Oh, he put on his glasses. He can't see without.
Exactly.
What's up, dude? Casey wanted me to talk to you.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Hey, cookies are way far superior than brownies. You can eat so many more of them. There's different kinds of textures. There's only so many things you can put in a brownie.
You don't need to. It's perfect.
I'll tell you what the deal is, Mario. It's when you see a plate of freshly made brownies and freshly made cookies, you know you're more likely to encounter freshly made chocolate chip cookies. At least I am. But a brownie is like, oh, we don't get brownies a lot. I'm going to go for that first.
Look what showed up.
Right.
Yeah.
I will
There we
agree
go.
with that. I will agree that it will be like a special little treat. But I will also say that if there's a freshly made plate of cookies or brownies in front of me, I'm going for them cookies first.
So I'm going for the brownies because I don't know when I'll get another shot at those brownies.
That's right.
That makes sense.
Carpe diem, man.
Carpe diem.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you coming to the phone call. I just want to say I'm a cookie lover.
All right,
Mario.
I mean, you can enhance a
You're not
brownie
wrong.
by putting a cookie in it. You can enhance a cookie by putting a brownie in it.
No, you absolutely can.
No,
I've had brownie cookies.
Yeah.
I don't even know
you've
what
had
that
cookie
means.
brownies.
Putting a brownie in a cookie?
Yeah, you don't do that.
But I've never heard of putting a cookie in a brownie.
You've never heard of a blondie, bro?
No. Well, you know what? I have heard of a blondie. I just didn't know what that was.
It's cookie brownie.
Okay. It's cookie brownie. All right, so some stories to run by you. We'll start with Prince Harry. He has returned to the UK ahead of the unveiling of a statue in honor of his late mother, Princess Diana.
I'm back.
At Kensington Palace on July 1st is when that's coming up.
Is anyone home?
Would have been her 60th birthday. Meghan stayed in California with Archie and Lilibet. Rumors and speculation on the current status of Harry and the rest of the feuding royals accompanied the news. And, of course, Diana would not have approved of the way Harry and Brother Prince are arguing. Many do speculate that.
It'd be terrible. And with that in mind, maybe they can patch things up.
Yeah, I would hope so. And with that, I saw a teaser story that I think William was kissing someone or something like
Yes.
that. Did you catch that story?
Who is he kissing?
like an aide or something along those lines.
yeah.
But I didn't really. I'm kind of bored
Kathy
with this
Bates.
crap. He was making out with Kathy Bates.
I'm a big fan of Misery. I've often fantasized.
And here's another bit of information. Prince Charles apparently will not strip Archie and Lilibet of their royal titles. Rumors assert, despite previous indications, that he would consider it.
I tend to think we get a lot of misinformation. Yeah.
And according to an insider, they said, I don't think he will make the unpopular, hostile move of removing the royal status. All right, thank you very much, Kathy. There are a lot of hardworking people in the world. And some people's jobs are more difficult than others. Some are more dangerous than others. But some that seem like they might not be all crazy dangerous come with interesting injuries that are specific to that industry.
That's true. Yeah.
Steve, I'll leave here with a sore jaw sometimes.
Oh, my
and
God.
I know.
My tongue from rolling R's, it hurts. I have to put it in a catheter or a sling.
Listen, a couple of us have actually gotten seriously injured.
Well, my skipping accident.
yeah.
I separated my shoulder.
Yes.
I almost broke my neck. Nick had to have surgery on his collarbone.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the collarbone injury
skiing.
from here?
That was skiing. Yeah, that was with.
But that was work-related, I guess.
There.
Okay.
But on the whole, I would say our jobs are not that dangerous.
No.
Well, I
You
think,
almost got killed?
Listen, you may not know this, but we in radio and the Navy SEALs tend to frequent the same bars.
So we swap stories.
Yeah, we can swap stories.
Yeah.
The danger.
No, but Steve found this interesting article about bizarre, dangerous, and unpleasant occupational hazards and ailments that people have suffered. And a lot of these are old ones that you may not be familiar with or ever heard of before.
Well, if you talk about radio, I'll talk. A lot of times people will have, from having headphones all the time. Now, I keep my headphones up during the break, but when we go into music, I turn everything down.
Right.
So, and I don't listen to a lot of loud things during the day. But people have, injuries to their hearing.
Well,
I had a sorry, I know you have. Last night I got like a little ringing, and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? What's happening?
Tinnitus.
Yeah,
Tinnitus.
It corrected itself,
Yes.
but it was for a second.
You wouldn't
Every
say
now and then, I've told you, one of my ears will ring, Kathy, and then it will go completely deaf for a few seconds. And then it comes back around. The first time it happened scared the hell out of me.
Sure.
But I do have tinnitus. That was mainly part of that is from wearing the headphones. It was from playing in a band for years, playing in a bar band and being in that loud environment. And also another thing, this isn't necessarily an injury, but as a drummer, when I was playing regularly, I had really rough, calloused hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I had these big, huge deposits of skin that were all over my fingers, and it was quite noticeable. So that was just a byproduct of what I did. Yeah. Wouldn't call it an injury, but it was just
like a paper
condition.
cut would be something as you're moving copy around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have, man. I've got my. I've
It's no laughing matter.
had my share of paper cuts in this industry. You hear this? This is danger, folks.
We lost a radio pioneer this morning. Broadcaster Preston Elliott had a fatal paper cut.
So the list of
go now to the garbage can.
of injuries. Yeah, hang on.
We got our correspondent.
Steve, I'm here, and there's a lot of activity, and I can barely hear you.
No, that's okay. If you could shuffle some of the garbage, we could probably hear you better.
Is that better now?
Yeah,
Can you hear me? All right.
Yes, much better.
Okay. Coming out of the garbage can.
All right.
So here are a few interesting ones, and if you have a condition that people may not realize is part of your work environment, and not necessarily just horrific accidents that have happened to people that you work with, but say if you're if you're a teacher or a chef or what. Chefs cut themselves all the time and burn themselves.
Persistent, repetitive injuries, things that you're doing constantly that other people don't do.
Feel free to share those with us. 215-263-WMMR. So here are a few, and these have some interesting names. The second one, it's very interesting. The first one is called Baker's knee. So it's a skeletal condition that causes the legs to bend inward toward each other.
Oh.
And it was until, according to one 19th century dictionary, it says they will bend inward to each other until they closely resemble the right side of a letter K.
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's not good.
And it was once common in bakers who would typically have to put all of their weight on only one leg when carrying heavy bread baskets.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Think about that,
And that
though.
was, years and years and
Right.
years of doing that type of thing, I would think. And it was
Before you could hire children to do that.
Right, exactly. All right, this one is really interesting. So it's a condition called chimney sweep scrotum.
Chimney sweep scrotum.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's true.
As if life as a Victorian chimney sweep wasn't unpleasant enough, sometimes it was apparently necessary for sweeps to take off all of their clothes so that they could clamber into the smallest of soot-filled crawl spaces and flues.
My God.
And as if that wasn't unpleasant enough, the carcinogens found in soot could irritate the most delicate area of the chimney sweep's anatomy and eventually cause a form of cancer called chimney sweep scrotum.
Oh, my God.
Or more euphemistically, soot wart. Ew.
Soot nuts.
Soot nuts. No, soot wart.
So stop and as reading this, stop and think about that job in particular. You're going down. So, we talk about black lung disease with coal miners. Yeah. Well, it's got to be on a par with that because you're in that day and age, you're going down. You're in a very claustrophobic situation. We see Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. They're all covered with filth and soot.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
Get that old
gets on your nuts.
Scrotum.
Yeah.
There's a scrotum song in Mary Poppins, isn't there? Blimey, my scrotum has today.
Chimney sweep scrotum, maybe.
I got my chimney sweep scrotum.
Yep. Maybe there's a deleted song that we weren't familiar with.
How vulgar.
My friend Bernadette, who at one point in the last 5 to 7 years was like the teacher of the year. I might have been like Delaware County teacher of the year. But anyway, she says she's got bruises all over her legs from walking into desks all the time.
Yeah.
And then she also had to have surgery on vocal cords because just overusing her voice and talking all day
projecting.
long.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm sure that I sound like an idiot when I say this, but when I was a kid, I thought chimney sweep was the greatest job in the world because of that movie. I'm
they're dancing
they
all
are
day,
having a lot of fun.
They clearly have time to work on routine.
They got songs going.
Yeah.
Looks like Dick Van Dyke is the best.
And speaking of dancers, though, their feet are gnarly.
Yeah.
I'll bet, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are you speaking of like, I would imagine like ballet dancers.
I mean,
have
yeah.
gnarly feet.
I'm sure. But I mean, any dancer, even when I was salsa dancing, like that's what we would joke about how gross our feet were. And like people would go and get pedicures and, they use like the, what's the rough surface to kind of like.
like an emery board?
Exfoliating thing?
Like a pet egg?
kind of like exfoliate, and they would get like the, the dry skin. And at the time when we were like in the height of performing and all of that, the girls would be like, no, don't take that off. Like you needed that rough skin because otherwise it would hurt your feet.
Maybe we don't want your OnlyFans.
I know.
Listen, hey, how do you know? Maybe people like
there we
dancer
go.
feet.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely.
I see, I go in the sauna after a workout every day, and I'm in there, and people are in there in their bare feet, and I just look down. I'm like, please, God. I'm trying everything and anything and everything to make sure that, I don't know, 20, 30 years from now, I don't have feet like those guys do, or ladies as well. I don't like how the bunions happen, or like when your big toe ends up going inward.
Yeah, I don't know how the toe things turning sideways things, if that's just they grow that way or if that's from injury. Or
I have a friend who just had to have a bunion removed. They won't do both feet at the same time anymore. She can't drive for 6 weeks.
Whoa.
Just
from a bunion? Where was the bunion?
On the big toe.
On the big toe?
Or the below, like the
below the toe?
Yeah, like where that bone would stick out.
So here's one of the injuries on here. It's called a Taylor's bunion.
Taylor's bunion.
Yeah, is an inflammation of the bone at the base of the little toe, which causes a hard and often very painful growth to emerge. The condition was once traditionally common among tailors, who would spend a great deal of time working with fabric while sitting cross-legged on the floor, causing the outside of their feet to rub against the ground.
See, that's the kind of thing that we would not think about. Those repetitive things that you do in your job. And a lot of times, Preston, if you're talking about a factory job or you're talking about a baker or someone who's working in a kitchen who's holding something perhaps with their hip or leaning in a certain way.
Yep.
Yes, it's things what we don't think about.
Let me go to Laura. Hi, Laura. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Laura?
Hi. So I bartended for a very long time and high volume, and I now have tendinosis or tennis elbow from pouring the liquor.
From pulling the handle?
No, pouring the
from
liquor
pouring
bottle.
From
the
pouring.
bottles. Okay.
Yeah.
You have
Wow.
tendinitis or something similar in your elbow from doing that repetitively over the years.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that.
And did you go to physical therapy or anything like that?
I did not.
Oh.
I did have what are they called? Orthopedic doctor.
Okay.
And
You should have gone to a liquor doctor.
Did he say don't do that?
Yeah. They told me with rest and a lot of ibuprofen, so
Okay.
anti-inflammatories.
All right. Yeah,
With
that can work
rest and
too.
ibuprofen, it'll be exactly the same.
Thanks, Laura.
And a
Appreciate
drink.
it. I had, I've had both tennis elbow and golfer's elbow, which are two different things.
I've never had
a form of tendonitis.
chimney sweep nuts, though.
No, I've never had chimney sweep scrotum before. But you can go to physical therapy and get those things worked out.
Yeah.
I know where you go.
Where? Oh, Trinity Rehab, of course. Yes, Christine, the best. Let me go to Bob real quick. Hey, Bob, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
Good. All right. What work injury condition or work condition did you have?
We would call it bar rot.
Bar rot.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
High volume bartending back in the day.
Yep.
And having your hands wet and using those three sinks, with the blue rinse, it would cause your fingers to swell up and get the skin peel off. And I still, to this day, have about 3 or 4 fingers that have no pigment because of that, what we call bar rot.
So we're looking at a picture that was called up on the screens here, and it says pretty gnarly bar rot that I've been dealing with, and I think we see exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It looks like the color is different on the tip of the guy's finger. So, and that's kind of an interesting industry known condition.
At least back, for me it was. Yeah.
That's what you guys called it, bar rot, but apparently it's a thing. So, all right, interesting, Bob. Thanks, man.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
good question I have to ask. Do you want chimney sweep's scrotum or bar rot on your fingers? Bar rot.
I want bar rot scrotum instead.
Why not?
Yeah. Let's
Pouring
join
drinks
these
with
two
my
together.
nuts.
All right, here is another work injury or work occupational hazard or ailment. The bursa is a small sac of fluid that cushions the bones and tendons of a joint.
Okay.
So you've heard of bursitis, right?
Yeah, in the elbow. I had it.
Okay, so in bursitis, that sac becomes inflamed, often very painful, and an infrapatellar bursitis is the bursa just below the kneecap that is affected. And this particular form of bursitis is nicknamed clergyman's knee.
Yeah.
Because it's often caused by all of a person's body weight being concentrated on the lowest point of the knee when they kneel down, just like a clergyman praying in church. So I don't know if
today we're gonna stand.
if the clergy had that regularly.
So I had it in the elbow, and it's that fluid-filled sac. It was, to just touch it, just a tiny little tap was extremely painful.
What do you think caused it?
Working out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Used to be a power lifter.
Never work out.
Well, yeah. I do lift heavy weights at the gym. So they said that was part of it, and I needed to just rest it, basically.
And just let it pass eventually.
Yeah.
Casey, then this is not a work-related thing, but I forgot what you called this. It was like it's like a Bible boil or something along those lines.
Well, so I have it here. It's just a cyst on my on my wrist, and there's a couple of different ways to get rid of it. One is you drain it with a needle, but then the other one is you just burst it. And I don't know why the word Bible comes into
because
play.
people would use a Bible to hit it.
Yeah.
With
it's like Torah tees.
Right, Torah boobs instead of tees. Okay.
So it's painful, but it's immediate.
Did you ever do it?
No. Okay. In fact, it's still there, but I'm too scared.
I know we've talked about that before, but it had been a while. But I forgot what the actual term for that is. But it's like a Bible bump or something.
Wow.
Is a term that's used. All right, so playing too much violin can cause a localized inflammation of the part of the neck that the violin rests against, and that condition is called fiddler's neck.
Well, this is similar to all the, like you were talking about with drumming, with your calluses. This is anything where any instrument, that you're doing, again, a repetitive motion is going to cause some sort of something.
But so the
how technical was that?
Violin's been around for a long, long time. They haven't figured out a better way to hold that thing. That's the best way to do it.
I guess so.
All right.
Yeah, because if you hold it up against your chin and your elbow, you're like this.
Yeah,
that's going to mess with your neck, right?
They should have a stand where you can put the violin on, so that you can just walk over and it's in permanent position.
If you could just do, yeah.
Right?
I guess so. For your hand to work the fretboard, it's going to feel more comfortable.
Yeah, but could you put like an apparatus around your shoulders and then the thing could just rest on that and you could still hold it there and you wouldn't have to, put your neck down?
Oh, no. It's usually caused by the friction and pressure, but sometimes, especially when the fiddler is using older instruments, the condition can be the result of a bacterial or fungal infection.
Yuck!
Which can have particularly unpleasant consequences if left untreated. All right, let's go to some calls. I have Pat. Hi, Pat. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Pat?
So, I developed very quickly a condition which I refer to as shopping shoulder. Go into the outlets for several days in a row and like putting my arm up and pushing racks of clothes around. So my doctor did not give it that name, but he said, "Yep, that's what did it." Like it was.
So you're talking about
shopping shoulder.
Shopping shoulder, sliding clothes as you're looking through them along a rack gave you shopping shoulder. Yeah, Kathy was nodding.
It should be a real thing.
I love that.
It should be.
Kathy, have you ever had that sensation, a shoulder issue from shopping too much?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know what she's talking about. It's sometimes I'm like, I'm working out my arm.
Yeah,
Like, this is what's happening right now.
Let's see. What is this one, Nick?
I just like this description of something that can happen when you're landscaping.
Is it called no trench nuts?
No, it's this one right here.
Oh.
Well, I need to find out about no trenched nuts.
It says I had a landscaper's wrist, and that's when you fall off a truck with a 400-pound chunk of wood and crush your hand. /wrist.
If you do that a lot,
landscaper's wrist.
if you do that a lot, it'll be a problem.
My friend Bill got backhoe foot when his foot got run over by a backhoe.
Yeah.
Isn't there like roof workers fall when you fall off a roof and get injured?
Yeah, roof workers fall.
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
I had one time I had forklift toe, and that was when a forklift tine came down on my toe and crushed it.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that, or at least don't do it a lot.
I did have a friend who was a roofing worker, and he fell, and dude was in the hospital for a long time after that. That's a dangerous gig right there.
I understand there's an injury, repetitive pimp slapping.
Yeah.
So if your pimp slaps you a lot at work, that can cause an issue.
We will go to Sarah next. Hi, Sarah. Morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Sarah. All right, so what do you do for a living, by the way?
So I'm a yoga instructor.
Okay. Well, I bet you guys definitely have some conditions.
Yeah, so I don't know if it happens to a lot of people, but I suffer from sesamoiditis, which it can happen to dancers, ice hockey players, tennis players. It's an inflammation of a bone within your foot by your big toe.
Huh. What was it called again?
Sesamoiditis.
I thought she said Cecily Tynan.
Yeah.
I heard the same. I didn't know that was a disease. How unfortunate. Tonight with bursitis, Cecily Tynan, syphilis,
and syphilis.
and gonorrhea with the weather.
All right, so how does it happen again? I'm sorry.
It's from just repetitive use of your foot and like that stop action motion. So as a yoga instructor, you're constantly just doing crazy things, as Kathy would know.
Yeah.
You use your foot. She's using her big toe to steady herself and balance herself. So
like when you're doing a lot of the stretching. Well, it's all stretching. So when you do that, I assume you can't work for a while, correct?
I end up in a walking boot for weeks on end.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's it. I didn't realize that.
And then you just kind of wait for that to pass and then go back to what you were doing?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well,
you wouldn't think about that, right?
Here's the thing about pain, because she's talking about a big toe.
Pain don't hurt.
And, well, you think about, I've had before pain in the tiniest little area of my body.
Pain don't hurt.
And it does not matter. It does not.
Have a hangnail.
Yeah.
No. I know exactly what you're saying.
And it hurts. But I mean, like, I've had, like, if your big toe hurts, dude, you can't walk. Yeah. I mean, like, it's, you know what I mean?
That's why when I trim my toenails, I'm very careful, because if you cut too deeply in and you get that infection or you get a hangnail, I remember years ago being on vacation, and I'm going to get all set for the trip, and I'm going to be on the beach, and so I'm going to make sure my feet look good, and blah 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 blah. I cut too deeply, and it ruined the whole effing vacation because of my friggin' big toe.
It's ridiculous.
Anybody watch the Flyers game last night? A guy in the fans went to go catch a puck, but the dude sitting in front of him deflected it as it was coming into the stands and deflected it right into the guy's face.
Oh.
And JJ and Bush were talking about it for a while. They kept putting the guy on TV. He looked like a tough guy, and he was laughing. And I think Bush might have said this guy looks like he's a hockey player. But they kept going back to him, and every time that they would go back to him, this knot on his forehead was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, and he kept laughing it off, and I'm like, well, he's probably all right. But also at the moment, I'm sure the adrenaline was flowing.
It's
and
killing the pain.
When he's leaving the arena last night, he's like, God damn,
thump. You can feel your heartbeat in it.
Yeah, Nick, I saw, and I don't know if this happened in the last couple of days, but it was an NBA game. I believe it was a Wizard game where dude throws a pass. There was a guy just walking along he had courtside seats. He's walking along. At the last second, he looks over, somehow dodges the basketball like the Matrix, but the poor guy behind him had no clue it was coming. No clue it was
right
coming.
in the face.
Yeah.
Preston, here's the video up on the screen. This is the guy that got it. And you can see the knot above his eye. Every time they'd go back to, and they'd show him again, it was just getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. I wonder how it's feeling today.
What a great idea to keep checking back on that.
I know.
I mean, honestly, you could have made it a game.
I love it.
And then he met the Goonies.
I'm going to go to Phil, who's an electrician. And probably has some interesting things that happen in that profession. Hey, Phil, good morning, bud.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, all right. So what is what's an electrician ailment or condition?
So a lot of concern is you always have to watch out for an arc flash.
Yes.
Arc flash is basically an electrical explosion, 35,000 degrees in 0.03 seconds.
Wow.
So that there's a condition when this happens they call it welder's flash or arc eye.
Oh yeah.
Basically, it's sunburn of your eyeball.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. And how does this affect your vision?
So it can be mild where, if you just get a little bit of a glance of it, it can affect you for a little while, then it can heal. But if you get a full face of it, it can ruin your vision for life.
For life.
Do you know anybody who's had that happen?
I've had arc flashes happen to me, and I've had mild cases of it where it heals in a few days. But it basically feels like you have something in your eye 24/7.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah,
So are you sweating bullets while this is going on because you don't know how bad you were damaged?
Yeah. It's a little nerve-wracking when it happens.
Kathy, you've had it?
No. But we had somebody call in and talk about it. I forget what we were talking about, but that's exactly what they called in and said it had happened to them, and they felt like there was always something
in their eye.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
man,
All
that
right.
sucks.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it, man. Let me get a couple of other examples here, and then we'll go back to some more calls. When Lewis Carroll invented the Mad Hatter, he wasn't entirely making it up. Back in the 19th century, mercuric nitrate was used in the production of the felt used in making hats. And this meant that hat makers risked prolonged exposure to mercury vapors.
Oh, there you go.
And these could eventually cause all kinds of physical and psychological problems, including a chronic trembling of the muscles known as hatter's shakes.
So when they would say Matt is a hatter, which is where that whole the character comes from, that's what they were referring to.
It probably had some origins in that. Yeah, that's interesting.
You notice Chimney Sweep Scrotum didn't make it into Alice in Wonderland.
No, but there's something that's known as rag picker's disease or sheep shearer's lung. Wool sorter's disease actually doesn't sound too bad when compared to its proper name, which is pulmonary anthrax.
Jesus.
First noticed among Yorkshire sheep shearers in the 19th century, wool sorter's disease is caused by inhaling the bacteria that naturally occur in sheep's fleeces, which unfortunately for the wool sorters sometimes included Bacillus anthracus or anthrax. Wow.
That's heavy duty. But you think of anything that causes a lot of particulate matter to go in the atmosphere around you. That's why, you
got to wear a mask.
You got to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And preferably a Mardi Gras mask.
Yeah,
just to make it fun.
Like when you see, painting,
Yes,
they're using
always wearing
aerosol
masks.
paint
Yeah.
and so on. Yeah, that stuff's getting in the air. Hang on. I'm going to go to Rob. He's got a condition. Hey, Rob, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, guys?
Good, buddy. All right, so what is this ailment you wanted to tell us about?
Well, I was just recently diagnosed with a thing called, which I've never heard of, and it took a while. I actually had to go to a ears, nose, and throat specialist,
Oh, wow.
and it's called prestige.
Prestige show.
Yeah, and what happens is your inner ear affects your jawline, which actually makes you look like you're smiling all day.
Oh,
my God.
wow.
You all right?
And it's kind of crazy. So I asked the doctor, what's causing this? And he said, you listen to the Preston and Steve show. And I said,
Yes.
yeah, I can't stop laughing all day.
There we go.
There
Well,
it
I think
is.
we owe you some
I
workman's
didn't know.
comp. Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Thoughts and prayers, Rob.
We'll give you a free subscription to Kathy's OnlyFans.
Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, Rob. We'll see you, bud. All right. Here. Let me go to Kate. Hi, Kate. Morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey.
Sorry to bother you guys at work.
That's all right. What do you want to tell us?
My dad had a case of postal leg, so he was a mailman, and he was delivering in the old style Jeep,
Yes.
where you had to slide the door open to deliver the mail. And he was driving along a street delivering mail, and somebody pulled out of their driveway, so he had to swerve around them.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came back, the Jeep flipped over, his leg slipped out, and it landed directly on his calf.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good old postal leg.
Postal leg.
Postal leg is when a vehicle flips over on your leg.
Yes.
Yep.
I had
Broke both bones, had an airlift down to Penn, and spent 2 years getting it stitched back up.
my uncle had driven off a cliff spine, and that happened from driving off a cliff.
Yeah, that can be fatal.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Kate. Appreciate it. Nick pulled up. What? I've heard of this before. The Radium Girls, Nick.
Yeah, somebody texted in about this, and maybe it had something to do with one of the
Had to do with watches, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a radium factory, and they surprise, they got radiation poisoning from working in the radium factory.
Nick, there was a movie made about it.
Was there? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
And
Yeah, so those glowing watches,
Yes.
used radium. They were, I think, Timex. I used to have one.
I had a couple. That's
and-
why I have chimney sweep scrotum.
It is a good band name, though. The Radium Girls.
The Radium Girls, and Nick, I guess in working in factory conditions with that all the time.
Yeah, nonstop. I mean, and it ended up changing sort of work labor laws in this country, which is a good thing. Yeah, and there were 70 women that worked in this one room, and they all got ill as a result.
Did any of you guys read the Upton Sinclair the Jungle, the
Yes,
novel?
we read it in
I did
school
not.
years ago.
It changed industry in the country.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was a fiction. It was a work of fiction, but it was told from the point of view of a factory worker,
Right.
right? I think it's slaughterhouse, right, or something along those lines.
Yes, I don't remember that. I read it in like 7th or 8th grade, but I remember that there was a big bear that sang songs, and there was a panther.
I think that's the Jungle Book.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is just called The Jungle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, every now and then a piece of literature can kind of change the industry and the way things work, and that was one of them. I never read it, but I just knew of it because we learned about it in history class.
Yeah, I mean, listen, and there were things people discovered later on, like,
like this you've been doing for this long. We found out this is bad for you. We didn't know.
Right. If you were installing asbestos,
Yeah.
they later to find out.
Yeah.
Or what is the chemical? All the lawsuits are over from the bug spray. The
DDT we were talking about? No.
what's
Something
the
else?
I'll remember. No.
Oh, that Monsanto
Yes.
lawsuit? Yeah.
What is it, Nick?
Oh, Roundup.
Yeah, Roundup.
That's for weeds.
It's for weeds.
Yeah. I still use it.
How does it taste?
It's good as I don't have it as a main. It's more like a little palate
Yeah, a little on the
cleanser.
spoon.
No, I know I probably shouldn't use it, but God damn it works good. It kills those weeds and your children. I'm gonna go. No, not that I know.
Hey, which child don't I like? Why don't you put it on?
Peter wants to talk about the dancer feet, Kathy. So I'm going to go to him. Hi, Peter.
You're a
on,
whore, Peter.
Hi, Peter. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Kathy, this is for you. My wife was a professional ballet dancer. She danced for the Pittsburgh Ballet and
Wow.
also for the Boston Ballet.
Wow.
Anyway, here we are in our 60s. both of her big toes look like they belong to Fred Flintstone. But the rest of her toes are all curled towards her big toe, and that's from being all of those years in the point shoes with the the boxes on the edge.
Yeah, Pete. You look at and we have a picture up here in the studio that is absolutely horrific. But I mean, it would only stand to reason when they, as ballet dancers, and at the level your wife was at, spend so much time standing up on their tippy toes.
Exactly, and and it's been all her life because while she was in grade school and middle school, she was in those like fame type schools. The performing arts school.
Well, fame costs.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all her life, and so now,
Yeah. So
you can crush bugs in the corner.
let me ask you: when you guys are getting affectionate, I assume you don't suck on her toes, right?
Well, that's none of your business.
All right.
For fear one comes off in your mouth.
Wow. Oh, sorry. Sorry, bud. All right, thanks, Peter. This
have fun.
This has got to be an extreme example of what we're looking at of disgusting dancers' feet.
Yeah, that's
Kathy.
like current dancers who are being beat to dance.
Wow.
But yeah, but to Pete's point, yeah, and we have a picture up here in the studio, Preston, showing a kind of an X-ray of the way the foot is bent. Kathy, so when they're standing, I don't know if you
I never was a ballet dancer. I don't know much about them.
But are they okay? So is it would you guess that they're actually standing up on their toes, or are the toes bent over and they're standing up on the bent over part?
Well, there's a wood
that's
piece
touching the floor.
There's a wood piece in there, so I think their toes are against the wood piece, and then if you notice, the tip of the ballet shoe is flat, so that's a piece of wood in there.
Okay,
and they're standing on that.
Timberland sells steel toe ballet shoes.
Listen, when they're up on the tip of like that, where they're standing, the way that we're looking at pictures right now, are their toes? Are they on the pads of the toes, or are
That's
they
what
actually?
Steve was asking.
Did you say on the nails
or the knuckle?
That's
of
what
the
I was
toe.
wondering.
I thought it was like the knuckle.
That's what I thought. The knuckle.
Well, I don't know, but I don't think so, because
It's the knuckle.
if you look at look at this picture that's up in the studio now, where she has one ballet shoe on and one off. See how she's standing on the toe? It's not curled under. No, not that one.
Could you imagine supporting your body? That's obviously why most of them are waifish. But can you imagine that?
I used to, when I was younger, I used to do the Michael Jackson. You know how he would jump up on his tiptoes like that. I used to be able to do it, and I would not be on the pads of my toes. I would be on more like the nail, like either the tip or they were kind of bent on the knuckle.
Would you yell hee hee?
No, I would say chamon.
Oh.
Yeah, I wasn't a hee-hee
Just
guy.
as good.
Yeah.
So here, the tip of the ballet shoe is not wood or metal. It's actually layers, densely packed layers of fabric, cardboard, and glue, almost like paper mache.
I didn't know that. Shamon, that's
That
you.
was me.
I'm going to ask my friends who are ballet dancers about the toe thing.
Here's a text from somebody that says, my name's Johnny. I'm in construction. I'm sure many people in other trades also have this condition. It's called depression.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
That actually is. I years ago remember reading a story that said dentists who had their offices, and it used to be quite common to have them in their home, or they'd have an extension built onto the house.
Yeah.
Were very prone to chronic depression and suicide.
Right. I remember that long time ago, hearing that for some reason the dentist profession was filled with people who would take their own lives. And then it switches, from time to time. Then there were like EMS responders and things like that.
What you're experiencing, what you're seeing,
If you are prone to depression and or anxiety like I am, I have some good news for you. I also suffer from SAD every year, a seasonal affective disorder or depression. This week, we hit 5 p.m. for sunset. So
I've been noticing it.
Yeah, I pay attention.
Last week, I'm like, okay.
I pay attention a lot. And tonight, it's 4:59 in Philadelphia. Tomorrow, it's 5 p.m. By the end of the week, sunset after 5 p.m.
I haven't seen you with your light that you brought.
I
a
actually
light for treatment.
I let somebody borrow it. Yeah, it's called Verilux. It's a happy light, and so a friend of mine, Steve, has been borrowing it. It's worked for me in the past. So if you're looking to get one, Verilux is the brand that I've used.
You can plug it in at work.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. Were there any other conditions? Because we do need to wrap this up. Here's a final one. Sitting on hard wooden chairs, weaving all day can cause ischial bursitis, a painful inflammation of the sac or bursa that cushions the ischium bone in the hip. And that condition is called Weaver's bottom.
Huh.
Weaver's bottom. So it was like you're over here, and maybe your butt would hurt.
Do you know what's a weird one? Gerner's vagina.
Why is
you
that?
don't think so? Because you're
No,
contorting
it's
your
a
face.
Yeah.
When you gurn, it's that weird
but you're
face
kinda
thing.
bearing
Maybe you're doing
down.
like a Kegel thing?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, maybe your pelvic floor.
Yeah.
You have to
Tighten up. To me, I'm sorry, you have Gerner's vagina.
But I'm a man.
Don't talk. I'm the doctor.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for the calls, and I apologize to those we did not get a chance to go to on the phones. We do appreciate you guys checking in. By the way, Jamie had said chronic pain. No, there was somebody who had called in who's a violinist.
Yes, and they said there was
they make the things that a chin rest that's
they're called
better,
trumpets.
Better for you.
I found a TikTok video showing how ballet dancers stand inside of the shoe. It says people typically think they stand on their knuckles. They don't. They stand on their toes.
No kidding. All right. Interesting. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do round one of the Bizarre File. I have very good, juicy stories to share with you, so we hope you'll stick around with us. We'll be right back. You have basically people just comment on this.
Absolutely, I feel extract from the Royal Times because of this point in time.
Agreed, sir.
Exactly.
So,
why would you do that anyway?
Hang on a second. What does it say? Oh, Prince William promised to give a 96-year-old woman a kiss once. The rules relax more during his mini tour of
There you
Scotland.
go.
So that was
I
it.
would like a lot of tongue, please. You misunderstood. You were thinking of a more provincial kiss where I was looking for something more sexual.
Hey, she's 96, man.
Oh, I guess so.
She can ask for whatever she wants.
All right.
Open.
Give me more. Give me your tongue.
Gross.
Dear God, woman, I can taste your pancreas.
That's how deep he went?
Yeah,
or there was bile coming up?
Bile. You know what? You don't know what's bubbling in that old fuselage. What's your favorite cheese?
Of all time?
Is that even possible to say?
America, Jack!
No, one of the greatest cheeses I ever had was called a Shropshire Blue. I was given it as a gift from some friends who knew that I love cheese, and it is actually an orange blue cheese. It's really good. Orange with blue veins, you know, like a big penis.
Really? Wow, yeah. Like a big,
veiny,
older man's penis.
Shirt is purple.
Wow.
Yes.
It's an orangish yellow cheese.
Like a senior citizen's penis.
With blue veins in it. And it's,
yes, do you have any cheese that would resemble a senior citizen's penis? I've got just the thing.
And I absolutely loved it. It's from Shropshire, England.
Now, something that would resemble an older woman's dried out vagina.
Oh my God.
Dear Lord. We don't have cheese like that, but we have plenty of meat like that.
You know, sir, perhaps you're not interested in cheese.
Yeah.
My little cheese place in Chestnut Hill closed down.
It did.
I was devastated.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, well, anyhow, so if you want to, you can use your Ritz cracker and try to cut your cheese with it. Remember when cut the cheese used to be a euphemism for farting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just fart when I said
I
that?
thought you were summoning me.
He just... Kathy, did you see that?
No.
He's standing up. He squatted down a little bit right when we said that was the
Yeah, I
word
thought
for
you were
farting.
telling me to do that.
Can you, if I ask you right
Fart
now?
on command? Absolutely. No, I wish I
Do
could.
it right now.
No,
Go
I
for
can't.
it.
I can't.
Drop a deuce.
Can you jump right here? Yeah.
Just did, though.
All right. So, did you really?
Drop the deuce?
No, he farted.
Oh my God. Wow.
Please tell me that the microphones picked that up. Could you hear that, Maurice?
I could hear it in my headphones.
I'm telling you.
It is
This is the person we work with.
unbelievable.
Isolate it.
This is the person we work with.
I mean, we are adults at work. At work. This is our job.
We're making money.
We're
We're
at
making
work.
good
I
money.
think I just bonused with that one.
I wish you would get fired.
Is that what you want? You want my family destitute, Kathy?
No,
You want my family on the
honestly,
streets?
She says just you.
I'll just take care of your kids. Like,
What about my wife? What about my wife?
well, her too.
When she comes looking for good loving.
Don't worry, I'll take care of her.
Let's see if we can isolate that moment.
Kathy's got that covered too.
And relive it. Marissa just held up 3 fingers. I don't know what that means.
One in the pink, 2 in the stink.
It wasn't
for
that
that?
3.
Oh.
What?
3 minutes, I can get it.
Okay, thank you, Marissa.
So 2 in the stink.
So maybe we'll kind of reinvigorate this thing. But we have decided to return with Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts this morning.
Yes.
And when I tell you that the passion was high for people to that have sent in requests to be a part of this, it's an understatement. It was just fanatical.
It is a global phenomenon. Has been for a long time. People have been raised in this Harry Potter realm, and so we knew we were going to get some staunch competitors.
I read a lot of the submissions that were sent in. I read all the submissions that were sent in, and I read several of them. I was on the plane the other day flying out west, and I was brought to tears by some of these submissions because this world means so much to so many people, and the way that they articulated it was really moving to me, and I'm just impressed. It was so difficult to narrow it down to 2 final contestants.
I mean, put it in perspective. A tick came into the studio to watch.
That's right. That's how popular
That's how
this is.
popular.
I am currently reading the Harry Potter books.
Are you?
I'm on the Sorcerer's, or no, I'm sorry, I'm on the Chamber of Secrets right now, so I've just gotten started.
Reading or Audible?
Audible.
And who's doing it? Who's doing the
I've forgotten the actor's name.
Jim something or other.
He's
Hey,
excellent.
there might be a question coming up.
Okay.
So I'm about 3/4 of the way through the second book.
Awesome.
So I'm underway. I'm starting to learn. I've seen all the movies and I found them entertaining, but I wanted to know, because there's so many people that you talk to about this story. There's so much more underneath when you dive into the canon of it all. When you get into the all the details about it, and I want to know that. I mean, I want to know. I think it's a kind of a club that you're in.
So all of my nieces and nephews, like I remember when the movie started coming out, and I was like, "Oh, that's friggin' awesome! I loved it."
Yeah.
They were like, "But they left out. But they left out." And there was so much stuff that so they were able to enjoy them, but they were a little deflated because the books, they devoured. They were ravenous for them. So I think you're entering a cool realm here, Preston.
By the way, Nick McElwain wearing his Gryffindor attire this morning.
Yes, sir.
He has pajamas.
Yes.
That look like a robe.
It's the closest thing I have to a robe, but they are officially licensed Harry Potter pajamas, and so I am a Gryffindor, and that's why I'm
Mr. Potter, what happened to your head?
You have taken the online quiz to find out which house you belong in?
Yes. I'm a Gryffindor.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah.
Pottermore was a great website. I don't think it actually exists anymore, which is too bad. But I mean, I've been in the Harry Potter universe for a really long time. I think I got into it maybe when the 3rd book came out. And Steve, I love the movies as well, but the books really do add layers and levels and these just the intricacies to this universe, and it's why people keep coming back to it, because there's so much to read, there's so much to rediscover, and maybe you didn't even notice it the first time around.
And not only has Nick worn his pajamas, but he brought in his wand, and so did Steve.
Yes, I did.
And you guys both got those at Universal Studios?
This was a gift for me from Universal Studios, yeah. So my friend that went and knew how much I loved Harry Potter and brought it back for me.
And you haven't been there?
I have not yet, no.
Oh, my God!
I know.
Got to go. It's incredible.
I did a couple of the tours in London, which were amazing, but yes, I absolutely have to get to Universal.
That's the only thing I know about Harry Potter is that the rides were fun at Universal.
Right.
Literally.
Kathy, it is a whole world. I went to Ollivanders. You did as well, Preston. On your recommendation.
My daughter got a wand fitting there.
And and when you go around the town, the wand activates certain things in town, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I've been to both. I've been to the one in California and in Orlando, and they are outstanding.
I gotta go.
You won't, if you're a fan,
it's real.
You're gonna cry.
That
It's
world
real.
is real.
All right.
Some of the people that sent in submissions said that when they got there, then they saw the Hogwarts castle, it brought them to tears.
I believe
that's how moving it is, yeah.
All right, and by the way, Harry Potter fans are adorable. Look at these guys here this morning. We're going to meet our contestants.
Preston and Steve present Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts.
As Nick had said, we had loads and loads and loads of entries, but going through, we've got to narrow it down to 2. And I'm sure that there are people that are incredibly well-versed, but we only have room for 2 people in our studio. And so that's how we're doing it, to have these 2 competitors battle it out. Mano a mano. All right, so let's meet our contestants, and we'll read the emails that we got from them. We're going to start with this one. It says, dude, I grew up with HP and obsessed. I was born in 89, so I was right out of the same age as Harry, right around the same age as Harry and his compadres, or his comrades, it says, as the books were released and they made their way through Hogwarts, ultimately not returning for education in year 7 as the Dark Lord has by that point been hit full strength, obviously. I have lightly reread parts of the books since childhood, but made it my goal to reread all 7 books once I finished grad school, Master of Public Administration at Penn State, woot woot. My husband bought me a Gryffindor blanket, a book of spells as a grad gift as well, and I graduated in December 2020 and finished the books last month. Literally, the best books I've ever read, and I have no idea how to move on from them. It's really just a story about friendship and the power of love. True. I was brought to tears in books 5, 6, 7, and would say that my favorite books are 3 and 6. 7 is also just absolutely epic. My next goal is to rewatch the full versions of the movies. I went to Universal Studios California back in 2017 and wore a Harry Potter costume to Hogwarts. For the above reasons, I would say I am the Harry Potter expert. It's about both knowledge and sheer passion for the story. The most epic tale ever told. Please welcome Steph Rosenbluth to the show. Hi, Steph. How you doing? Oh, wait. Your microphone is not working. Let me try that again. Go ahead.
I am so happy to be here.
Yay. Steph, where are you from?
I'm from Central New Jersey, Hopewell Township, right across the river from Bucks County.
It does exist.
Okay, so is that North-South Jersey or South-North Jersey?
Right in the armpit of the Delaware River.
There you go. All right, I want to ask you, Steph, because Steph is wearing a shirt that's got all 4 houses on it, but it says Hogwarts on it. She's also wearing a robe. She brought her owl. Is that Hedwig?
It's Hedwig.
Nice. And tell me about your glasses.
They are round glasses.
Are they prescription?
They are not prescription.
Okay.
They are just merely for this competition. Yeah.
They look great.
And social events.
Nice. So you recently reread all the books.
I did, yes. It was my goal, and I still don't know how to move on. Interestingly, while rereading the books, I was also rewatching Lord of the Rings extended version. So I was in quite the wizarding world.
Well, there's the amount of minutia, the amount of stuff to keep track of. But I mean, that's the books, the extended movie versions of the original Harry Potter, of the movies, and a lot of times they're tacking on an additional half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah. Which character do you identify with the best?
Wow,
Or
which
most?
character? Probably Luna Lovegood.
Okay.
She says whatever's on her mind. People kind of think she's weird, but once they get to know her, they realize she has a heart of gold, and she's actually very important to the story and to Harry's success in defeating Voldemort.
I love that. Great answer. All right, that's Steph. Our next contestant writes, I was hooked on the series the first time I read Sorcerer's Stone and bawled my eyes out the day after my 11th birthday when I didn't get my invitation to attend Hogwarts for the upcoming school year. I read the series countless times as a child and still reread my favorites every year. I read the series countless times. Nope, I read that part already. Let me go back to this. And I reread the story every year, every Christmas, to get in the holiday spirit. Growing up, my family and I went to the premiere screening of the latest movie, and what started as my obsession turned into full-out family affair as I got the rest of my family hooked on the magic of the Harry Potter universe. We traveled to Universal Studios' Wizarding World of Harry Potter when I was 19, and I remember seeing the top of the Hogwarts castle and instantly burst into tears. I can definitely recite every movie from start to finish, and I'm always the go-to person when someone has a question about their Harry Potter timeline or whether or not Snape really was a good guy. For years, my friends and I would watch the full 8 movies in a marathon event. We would bake snitch cake pops, craft sorting hat cupcakes, and brew our very own butterbeer, all while playing Harry Potter trivia and discussing our favorite moments from the series. There really is something special about the magic that J.K. created, and I would love to put my knowledge to the test. Gang, welcome Lauren DiStefano. Love it. Hi, Lauren. How you doing?
I'm
good.
All right, so tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Downingtown, Pennsylvania.
From Downingtown, Pennsylvania. What do you do?
I work at a law office now.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Okay, nice.
You can employ spells in changing a witness's testimony. You bring up something that I thought was really cool, and I think of it this the same way. For some reason, I perceive Harry Potter, the movies, as Christmas time fare.
Every single...
WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by LaSalle University. Advance your career at LaSalle University, and you can choose from over 30 graduate and certificate programs. Visit lasalle.edu/grad-open-house to get started. All right, I told you guys I got some stories for you this morning. We'll start with one I meant to get to yesterday, but saved it for today. In Florida, surprisingly enough, a man and a woman who deputies are calling Mr. Clean and Miss Dookie are on the run after a messy burglary at a Family Dollar store. According to the sheriff's office, a man and a woman walked into the Family Dollar store and they played very different roles in a $500 retail heist. Deputies say the man walked around the store gathering nearly $500 worth of items like Gain, Tide, and Clorox products, all cleaning products. While he was gathering those supplies, deputies say that a woman distracted employees by taking a dump on the floor.
All right. Can you imagine how much fun that would be?
And it was a distraction, so deputies noted an employee had to clean up the mess that she made.
Oh, that's battle pay.
The couple left the store in a white van. In a post on social media, the sheriff's office stated, if you recognize Mr. Clean or Miss Dookie or have information regarding this investigation, please contact.
So do they have any indication as to whether or not this is an MO they've executed on other occasions?
No.
Okay.
But
this
it
is just
certainly
improv.
is brilliant.
It's effective, yes.
I think, yes. All right, here's another Florida story. A man was arrested after cops allege he made sexual contact with a horse and tried to put his penis in its nose.
All right.
He tried to nose hump it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Donald Calloway, 53-year-old man, was arrested December 26 in Lake Wales, Florida. Police say that they received a call about alleged sexual activities involving an animal. Cops say
sex with a horse.
an unnamed witness told them she saw a man pleasuring himself next to the head of a 28-year-old horse named Raven.
Let me tell you something. The chompers on a horse are huge.
Yeah.
If your dong is out in front of a horse's mouth, you're running a big risk.
Yeah, it looks like a baby carrot. Yeah.
This witness, baby. This witness also alleged the man was tapping his member against the horse's nose and claimed that he attempted to,
Who's a dirty horse?
Put it in there. Cops also say this witness claims this man continued to pleasure himself while touching the horse. Cops say they received a video from the witness, which shows exactly what she described to them. Calloway touching himself while next to the horse before tapping the horse with his penis.
So I'm not trying to contextualize this insanity, but there seems to be easier targets on a horse, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Officers say the video doesn't actually show Calloway inserting, but they added his actions and movements, made it seem like he certainly was trying to.
Look at the nostrils on that horse.
Police then confronted Calloway, and they say that Calloway called the decision dumb. And he added, I haven't had any sex in probably 2 months, and maybe it was just a sexually frustrated moment.
Listen, we've all had that moment where we've looked at a horse's nose and said, I need me some of that.
Calloway was then arrested and booked on 1 count of sexual contact with animals. And according to online records, he is still in jail. A rhinestone-covered jockstrap belonging to Elvis Presley is now up for auction.
Man, where's my jockstrap? I'm on the rhinestone seller.
Paul Fraser Collectibles in the UK has the item up for grabs.
Look at that. It makes my balls look like the Vegas Strip.
The bedazzled junk protector has even has the King of Rock and Roll's initials. It says EP spelled out in the stones. The underwear was once housed in the Elvis Presley Museum collection in Memphis, and it reportedly was given to him by a fan.
You know what? That would be a piece of memorabilia that I think would be fun to have.
According to the auction house, the jockstrap is housed in an attractive display frame. It's not clear if Elvis actually wore the jockstrap.
I think that would, or not. I think that would be uncomfortable, wouldn't it? The rhinestones don't pierce to the other side.
Yeah,
but-
No, they're on the outside.
Yeah.
They're probably glued on. I would
Sure.
think. So it may not.
It feels fine, man.
It may not be uncomfortable at all. I'm not really sure. All right, so we were talking about this earlier this morning. Footage of the dramatic, or of a dramatic citizen's arrest that unfolded this past Thursday afternoon in Woodland Hills, California, was shown up as locals detained a man they say was trying to spark a new blaze in an already wildfire-ravaged area. The incident occurred near the Kenneth Fire, which ignited north of the Palisades Fire. The suspect, described as a man in his mid-20s, was allegedly armed with a blowtorch and propane tank. And according to witness accounts, the individual attempted to light something on fire behind a van before neighbors took action to stop him. Law enforcement soon arrived, but only after citizens had secured him with rope and zip ties.
Yeah.
The suspect reportedly claimed that he was using the device to, quote, smoke marijuana because he couldn't afford a lighter.
Sure.
So he's using a blowtorch.
Sure.
You can
Can't
afford a
lighter.
blowtorch,
Yeah, yeah.
but not
Way
a lighter.
cheaper, yeah.
So they actually arrested him for that. Wow. All right, a wannabe burglar, we'll wrap with this one, was caught brown-footed after police discovered his shoe print covered in dog poop at the scene of an attempted theft. This is in England. Brian Harold targeted residential areas in a spree of crimes under the cover of darkness alongside an older accomplice. His dog poop-covered print left on a windowsill led to police matching the shoes worn by Harold on the night he committed his crimes.
Yeah.
And at magistrate's court, he pleaded guilty to the attempted burglary of a family home. A couple had awoken to find their shed door was open. The husband and wife also noticed a garden chair situated underneath the windowsill. Prosecutor Gerard Rogerson said that she also noticed that there was an amount of dog feces around the exterior of the property. On the windowsill, there was still a footprint that the dog feces, which police subsequently examined and found it to be a match to the footwear worn by Mr. Harold. Harold and his accomplice had hit other locations on the same night. They stole tools from a van and were involved in the theft of a wooden wishing well, which was found dumped in another residential road.
Have you ever had the joy of, you're sitting up, say, in a room in your house or on the couch, and you realize you have it on your shoe, and you've been tracking it through the house?
Yep. As his punishment, Harold must complete 150 hours of community service, rehabilitation work, and a building choices course. What the hell is that?
What is that?
A building choices course. It means like make the right decision group or program he has to go through. All right, and that is what I have. In the bizarre file, told you there's some good stories.
There's some damn good ones. A lot of poop stories.
I have a few more to share later on, obviously. On the program, in a while, we are going to have FitDadCEO.
Yes.
From Instagram. He's got 1.6 million followers on Instagram, 1.3 million followers on TikTok, and he's local. His name is Dave. Dave Ogleton is going to be stopping by here today. So we'll talk about him with him in the 9 o'clock hour. In the meantime, we'll take ourselves a quick break, and we will come back in just a moment. So stay with us. We will not be gone long.
Right. And so it's always applicable. Yeah, no.
And so, Lauren, how long have you been listening to the Preston and Steve show?
Probably my whole life. My parents are Y100 listeners, and we had
nice.
like the CDs, and I was like, oh, that's the only station is Preston and Steve. So I just didn't know.
We were our own station, the Preston and Steve station.
So you're wearing a Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry shirt this morning, and you're wearing some funky-looking glasses.
Yes,
what are
they
those?
Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Those are Luna Lovegood's glasses.
Oh, wow.
So she can see everything.
Okay, that's beautiful. And would I had asked Steph who she identified with, and she said Lovegood. What about you?
I think, my favorite character is Sirius. I love him so much. I love his arc of being the villain to the good guy, but never getting the redemption of it. But everyone who loves and knows him knows he was the good guy.
You mean Severus?
No, Sirius.
Oh, Sirius. Oh, Sirius Black. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
out
right.
of prison, and everybody's like, and then he finally, at the very end, they're like, oh, yeah, he was a good guy all along.
Okay.
Wow.
I just loved him.
Oh, you guys are the real deal.
Well, we're going to put you to the test, guys. All right. Are you ready to get this underway?
Ready.
All right.
Ready.
Let's test your. We have. You guys are going to be buzzing, and I'm going to explain the rules. But let's just test your bells and see how it sounds. Steph. That's Steph's bell, and this is Lauren's bell. So a little bit of a different tone to each, so we can tell the difference, and we should be able to hear that. Okay. All right. Let's get this underway and tell you guys how we're going to be rolling this out for Battle of the So-Called Experts. There are 3 rounds, and they increase in difficulty. We will begin with the easiest questions, and they will be worth 1 point each. There are 4 questions per round. Okay. Second round, the questions are worth 2 points. And the third round, the questions are worth 5 points. So even if you're behind going into the third round, it can really change and you can end up winning because of the difficulty level. Now, I will ask you a question. You have to buzz in to answer. If you get that question correct, you get points. Now, here's what I want you to keep in mind. If you buzz in while I'm asking the question, and I haven't finished the question yet, I will stop, and you will have to answer based only on what I've said so far. If you're incorrect, your opponent will get to hear the rest of the clue and also answer that question, and they get a benefit because they'll hear your incorrect answer. They'll hear the rest of the clue and might have a better shot at getting that. So keep that in mind as I ask the questions, whether or not you're ready to buzz in. And by the way, we will have a tiebreaker if necessary. If we have a tie at the end of the game, we'll have a tiebreaker question that is ready to go. And the winner gets our porcelain Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning. Gorgeous. It's actually a bi-Wizards Cup because we only have 2 Wizards in the studio this morning. But that is from our friend Eva, who created this. She is the ceramic studio manager at the Wayne Art Center.
She's so talented. She's so incredible. She recently had an art opening out in Westchester at Westchester University. Eva's a great artist and a really cool person. She actually submitted to be in this contest because she loves Harry Potter so much. But when she wasn't selected, she made this trophy for us instead.
That was very cool. And you can check out our Instagram account. We'll make sure we post that. It's at arts.by.eva. If you want to take a look. So thank you, Eva Hozinez. Is that how you say her last name? Hozinez.
Yeah,
All
she's
right,
awesome.
Thank you, Eva. All right, we are ready to get the battle underway.
Oh, boy.
Let's begin. All right. Let's get Steph and Lauren in place. Hands by your buzzers, by your bells, I should say.
Are we doing practice questions first, or are we just getting right to it?
You know what? All right, I'll do a practice question just so you know what it's like to buzz in. And by the way, the questions are difficult. I'm currently reading, and I've seen all the movies. I didn't get any one of these correct. All right, so but that's hey, I'm a neophyte compared to you guys. So let's try a very, very simple question, and buzz in if you know the answer. What street do the Dursleys live on? Okay, so then we would go to Lauren for that answer.
Privet Drive.
That is absolutely correct. So that's just a test. And that is how it's going to work. So we can clearly hear the bells.
Yes.
We know who's in.
All right.
And we can decide who gets to answer the question. All right,
Wait,
here we
sorry.
go.
Did you say where their hands need to go?
They can hover.
Okay.
Hands can hover.
We covered that off air. So, all right, first question, stand by. Here we go. And these are the easy questions for 1 point. In Prisoner of Azkaban, Snape commands his students to turn to... All right.
394.
That is correct, Lauren. To which page? 394. 1 point for Lauren.
I'm keeping score, right?
That was excellent. Yes. All right. Next question. After Dumbledore's passing, he gifts Harry the very first snitch that he ever caught. All right, we're going to go to Steph for that answer.
I open at the close.
She is correct. The rest of the question was, what was the sentence that appeared on the golden sphere?
Wow.
I open at the close.
These guys are good.
1 point each. Next question. What are the full names of the 4 Hogwarts house? All right, we're going to go to Lauren. Lauren.
Salazar Slytherin. Godric Gryffindor. Rowena Ravenclaw. And Helga Hufflepuff.
That is correct. Those are the full names of the 4 Hogwarts house founders. So far, all my questions asked have been buzzed in early on.
Yes, they have.
They're extremely confident. Now, these are the easiest of the questions. Final question in the first round. Harry Potter's birthday is July 31st. Which character was born one day? Let's go to Lauren.
Neville Longbottom.
That is correct. Born one day before him.
Oh, my God.
And the total so far in round 1, Nick.
Lauren with 3, Steph with 1.
All right, 3-1.
3-1.
And these two are jumping in before every single... before I had a chance to finish every single question.
I mean, we have absolutely the best competitors you could possibly have.
Most definitely. All right, on to round 2. Right now, Lauren leads 3-1. Here's your next question. These are medium, and these are 2 points each. 2 points each. What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit?
Oh my God, that's literally the one pet I did not make a flashcard about.
Flashcard.
Steph was doing
I know
flashcards.
everyone else is.
You did flashcards?
Lavender Brown.
What is the name of Lavender Brown's rabbit? I'm going to give you guys about 5 more seconds to think about it.
Like flashcards for this contest?
Yes.
Yes! That's what a competitor looks like, Kathy.
High level flashcard. I played Trivial Pursuit last night.
There you go.
Running through the cards.
Yes. These guys are serious.
All right, Kathy interrupted. So your 5 seconds starts now. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, they're not going to take a chance at it. It was Binky. Didn't know that? Doesn't even ring a bell, does it? Okay. Fair enough. Well, it's a good thing you didn't answer them.
Wow.
Next question.
Is there a deduction?
No, they're not. No, if you get it wrong, you're not penalized.
Yes. You're not penalized, but you do kind of give up a little bit of information to the other competitor. All right, next is, what is Hermione's boggart? Okay, let's go to Steph.
It's Professor McGonagall telling her that she failed her exams.
She got it!
Nice!
So that's 2 points.
Yes.
And that means it's
all tied up.
It's 3-3.
Yeah.
All right, third question from the medium round, round 2. What animals represent each of the houses? All right, we're going to go to Lauren.
For Slytherin, it's a snake. Ravenclaw, it's an eagle. Hufflepuff is a badger, and Gryffindor is a lion.
That's correct. 2 points for Lauren.
I want to hang with these guys.
I'm telling you, man. They are so much fun. All right, and then the last question for the medium round, round 2, is how many staircases are... Okay, let's go to Lauren.
142.
That's correct. Staircases are at Hogwarts. Wow. All right, Nick. Totals.
After round 2, Lauren's still in the lead with 7, but Steph not far behind with 3.
All right, and it doesn't matter because going into this round, the points really jump up, and each question is worth 5 points each.
Wow.
As
Can
we
really
go for the quest of the Tri-Wizards Cup. And Steph, look, everybody, these guys are bouncing up and down. They're all excited.
I'm worried if that lavender one. I'm like, I know. Do I know anything?
All right, Casey, here we go. Final round. The most difficult questions that we could come up with yet. And here, this is really going to find out what you know about the Harry Potter universe. Let's go with this one. In response to the treatment of house elves, Hermione... Oh, all right. We had Steph ring in first.
It's called SPEW, the Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare.
That is
Those index cards paying off.
To finish it, Hermione founded an organization called SPEW. What does SPEW stand for? And she's correct. The Society for the Promotion of Elfish Welfare. Well done. What's the point total, Nick?
Wow, with that correct answer, Steph has moved into the lead. It's now 8-7.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
1 point lead. All right, 2 more questions to go. Here we go. Get your hands by your button, or by your bell, I should say. What is Nearly Headless Nick's real name? Okay, we're going to go to Lauren. Lauren.
Nicholas Demimsey Pompsey? Something like that. I don't think I got it.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. So that means that, Steph, you can take a free guess no matter what. Even if you get it wrong, it's no big deal.
I know it starts with Sir Nicholas the rest of it.
All right. You guys aren't going to get that right. Sir Nicholas de Mimsey Porpington.
You guys were all around
It's that
it.
name that you're like, Sir Nicholas, moving on. You don't read the full name.
It's so
British.
so many syllables, and
Yeah.
it's exactly.
That's a classic Harry Potter name, though.
This is the last question that we have here.
And it's anybody's game.
It's anybody's game right now. So this is in the past contests we've had runaways.
Yeah.
This time around, it's down to this last one. Here we go. Final question. On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name?
You're looking at each other.
Lauren almost cursed right into the microphone.
It's a super minor character from the first book. I know that.
Repeat the question, Preston.
On his 11th birthday, Dudley Dursley's parents take him and Harry to the zoo and also bring along Dudley's best friend. What is that friend's name? They have this intense look. Steph looks like she has no idea. Thanks, Kath. I want to thank our friends from Wawa for dropping off some goodies this morning. They have their Mornings Made Easy event that's taking place right now. And now through February 16th, Wawa Rewards members can visit any of the locations and redeem their bonus offers. This is if you use the app. It's part of their rewards program.
Yeah, their app's really good.
So they have $1 any size coffee, $2 iced coffee, $3 Monster Energy drinks. So just check and see what the specials are. But I find myself using the app more and more these days for Wawa, which is great because I usually just want to jump in and out real quick, and I know what I want to order ahead of time. Boom, it's done. Go get it.
And I resisted. I
did too.
resisted. I'm like, what was I wait? Why did I delay?
Now
Why?
it makes total sense. So you can do that. And if you haven't signed up yet, download the app or get the little tag, and have a keychain, and you can do that. So wanted to share that and thank our friends from Wawa for bringing by some goodies to us this morning. Here's a shout out. It says, good morning to see you. I was hoping for a shout out for my 60th birthday. It was January 13th, so it was yesterday. I missed it. And I said, 10 years ago, I came in for my first tattoo for my 50th birthday.
Wow.
I've gotten several since then. My midlife crisis. And I've been in the studio several times. One stupid question. Met you at the blood drive. Thank you. That is from Pat Karcher of Maple Shade, New Jersey. So, Pat, happy birthday. Happy 60th to you. Here is a butt plug I wanted to pass along, and I meant to get to this sooner. Sometimes, man, I put stuff aside and I lose track of it.
It's a lot to juggle.
This one is, it says, I want to send this anonymously. It says, my neighbor Dan recently diagnosed with some complicated name form of brain cancer.
Oh, man.
Dan is young. He's only in his late 30s, happily married, father of 3 young boys. The diagnosis itself is a complete shock to the family. But on top of that, his insurance is contesting his doctor's recommendations. His doctor from the very esteemed Penn Medicine is recommending proton therapy. But his insurance is pushing for radiation, which would endanger his optic nerve and brainstem. Proton therapy is $150,000 out of pocket, which is not feasible for anyone. Dan and his wife are hardworking, wonderful members of our neighborhood and community. I'm attaching a link to their GoFundMe, and I sent it over to Nick, and we have that on PrestonandSteve.com. And she said, I understand so many people are struggling now to keep themselves afloat, but if anyone has anything extra to spare, it would help this family so significantly with lost wages and all the new medical expenses. And she says, thank you, and keep hydrating those boobs. So wanted to pass that along. And you can go to the community section of PrestonandSteve.com and find out how to help people like them. And then one more that says, hey, Preston, I am a podcaster, and I heard you talking about the hole in your Phillies underwear.
Yes, it was a crisis.
And he said this brand, and he sent me a brand called Ethica. He said they have some weird prints, but they are the most comfortable boxer shorts I've ever worn, and they do a great job of cradling your junk.
Well, I think you've sung the praises of Tommy John, right? Is that the?
I do like Tommy John, but they're expensive, and I've had them wear out way sooner than my coveted Phillies underwear.
Coveted amongst all of us.
Yes.
We all came to the same conclusion at the same time. We were given them as a promotional thing, obviously, and everyone had this sort of like, did you that underwear?
Yeah, did you wear those?
Did you wear those?
Yeah. And they've lasted for at least 6 or 7 years.
The most comfortable ever.
So and like I told you guys recently, there's the brand name of the underwear. The Phillies use them through a vendor of sorts, I guess, and got their prints put on there. But I need to go look up the brand name because it has it on there, and I'm going to order more. I'm going to do that right away.
Yeah, don't throw it out. Look up that brand name. Oh, for sure.
Yep. Anyhow, Tom continues on in his email and said, I wanted to give a shout out to my daughters. They're 6 and 7. And they scream, please go away and let me sleep for the love of God. Every time a new podcast starts, and God forbid I put on music, I immediately get screams from the back seat to put Preston and Steve back on. If you could give a shout out to AJ and Jenna, it would make their day. And that's from Tom McFadden. So here you go. That's a shout out right there to AJ and Jenna, and thank you guys for being such big fans.
May I mention something quickly, Preston?
Yeah.
Just having to do with the Love Potions Happy Hour. They do it annually for Philadoptables. It's Saturday, February 22nd, giving you an early warning here to pick up your tickets. It's a great event. It benefits Philadoptibles. It's really the one kind of time where they do a function to raise funds, so they try to not be obnoxious about it. It's a great event. It's at the Broken Goblet Brewing in Bensalem. I think you played there one time.
Did.
Yes, absolutely, and it's a great place.
Yep.
They have a wonderful MC that night. Me. And over 75 raffle baskets, 50-50 drink specials, photo booth. The Hunky Hunks and their Hounds and Hunks calendar. I'm getting the name wrong, but our dog Kizzy is in it this year. So, and all that is available on their Facebook page as well. But again, it's February 22nd. 5:30 it starts. It's a couple hours. It's a great time, and you can get the information. I believe it's up on PrestonandSteve.com right now, or go to Philadoptibles, their Facebook page, or their regular page, and you should get the information. But giving you an early warning or at least an alert to get your tickets.
All right, very good. So we have a handful of things we can give away. We haven't played a game in a while, so we thought it might be gotten fun to play a game. I want to throw something at you guys.
Throw it out.
So we thought about playing Loop There It Is.
Yeah.
Which we take a little, worm or what is noodle?
Yes.
From a song, and then we loop it and repeat it over and over, and it sounds really hard, and it's difficult to ascertain what song that is.
Yeah, it's harder than you would think.
I had a couple of other musical contest ideas, and I thought about taking them out for a spin without ever practicing them or trying them.
Are we in the lab now?
We're in the lab.
All right.
So there was one, and if I just have placeholder names for these. I have two games. I have one called Music Mouth.
Can I suggest one?
Sure.
Chimney Sweep's Testicles?
That's already been used.
Oh, damn it.
But I was, it's, you know how when you sing the instrumental portion of a song?
Yes.
Like to someone? I thought about doing that. However, we have a series of written down or sheets of paper with titles written down on them of songs that everyone should know, that we should know.
All right.
And then you pull one out randomly, one of us on the show, somebody could pick, and then we have to mimic that song with our mouth.
All right.
Without using any vocals or lyrics.
Wait, what?
So,
are you
like,
going to do an example?
Okay. I'll give you an example.
All right.
So tell me what song this would be. Back in
Black. Back in Black.
Everybody. Yeah. Well, not that.
I know.
But
I can't sing.
not that part.
I know.
But no lyrics at all.
Nothing.
Just no vocals at all.
I don't think I can do this.
I think you can do it. In fact, I think
I don't
you're
have,
going to
like,
be the GOAT.
But okay.
You're doing it.
I don't have, I'm tone deaf. I don't have,
Oh.
I
Tone
can't
deaf?
do that.
What?
Even better.
Even
Yeah,
better.
exactly.
And then the other one is a song called a game called Lipless Lyrics.
Lipless Lyrics.
Which, and Casey inspired me for this contest, which is you do sing the lyrics.
But you can't hear
No.
lift?
Oh.
I would almost like it like this. No. Does anyone know that?
No.
No.
I don't. It's Tom Petty.
Thank
American
you.
Girl.
Thank you.
Oh.
Mhm. Not
I
impossible.
was thinking with your teeth closed at your lips, not okay.
I think it'd be too easy.
You think it'd be too easy?
I think it'd be too easy.
Yeah, be too easy.
Yeah, too
Yes.
easy.
Back in black.
I hit the sack. I got it.
Safe like repair.
Save life replace. But like an example I was going to use was, and I wanted to have the lyrics ahead of time. So,
I want to rock and roll.
Steve got it.
Yeah.
Rock and roll all night.
Okay.
So there's that game.
All right. You choose.
Well, that's, in all fairness, that's one that you were familiar with because they play that at the Vatican.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to give our listeners a chance to choose.
I'm on board with all this.
Yeah.
So here's what I need to do.
This is not good radio.
I did not prepare for this, as always.
All right.
If you could have someone write down on slips of paper, like 7 or 8 well-known rock songs that we should know the instrumental portions of. Because I want this to be random. I want you to be on the spot. And if you can't do it, you can't do
That's
it.
it.
You try.
Yeah.
And that's going to be
The,
You know what?
The game.
It's
This
gonna
is
sound
like,
goofy.
This is like a corporate one of those when they get together for retreats to find out their weaknesses and their strengths.
Yes.
And we may find that this is a weakness that we have
exactly.
to work on, the ability to sing with our mouths closed.
Welcome to our corporate retreat.
Or one of us might have incredible talents that we've never known of before.
Right. And again, I say Kathy will be the GOAT.
So we'll either play Loop There It Is, Music Mouth, which if anyone wants to suggest better name titles,
why
that's
not
great.
Music Mouth?
And Lipless Lyrics. I just want to have a new roster of games that we
These
play
sound
around.
like gangsters and Goodfellas.
Or Dick Tracy. Yeah. All right, so we'll open up the phone lines. 215-263-WMMR. If you could, By the way, busy out the phone.
If you're listening right now and you're near any sort of calendar, write this date down. You're going to want to remember what you're about to hear.
This is when legend was
Yeah.
born. All right, it's going to take a moment to get our callers up on the line and get everything ready to go.
All right, give us another one.
All right, do you want a lipless lyric or
Lipless.
a lipless lyric? Okay.
Hotel California.
Yes, Casey got it.
All right, how about me?
Now, are you just humming or are you actually trying to form the words in
See,
your
I'm
mouth?
not good
too?
at that, Dan. Yeah, it's hard to. You do it.
I don't know what song you're doing.
No, just do the.
Oh, I think of a song.
Tom Sawyer.
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
So here, I'll do it.
All right.
All right.
You have to actually kind of practice it.
Isn't good.
See, my grandfather, God bless him, was great at this. No.
Do the do something you know lyrically. Or,
Are you moving your jaws within your mouth?
yes. Okay. It's hard to do it without opening your lips.
And I'm picking bad lyrics because it's not conducive to.
Definitely use like all the
My
air in your
penis?
mouth as possible. Like, like think Dizzy Gillespie.
It's a sex act.
It is.
Something in the city. When the lights go down in the city. Yes.
Lights from Journey. Thank you. Thank you. Now, whether anybody will be able to hear this on their phone, I have no idea.
Would
We're
it be
gonna try.
better if you did it with your head in the garbage can?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's a game.
Make an
of some
echo.
type. Kath,
Why can't we sell these games to Milton Bradley?
what did you want to ask? You had your hand up. You were going to say something.
I was going to ask to be excused.
She has to go potty.
I'm tired.
All right, we're going to go to some phone line. We're going to try this.
Dude, you could do straw karaoke?
No.
Casey,
That's
give me
just
some
ridiculous.
Yeah. What the hell was I thinking?
straw karaoke.
Yeah, like.
We're trying to be serious here.
Casey's got a straw in his mouth.
Hopelessly devoted.
Yes. Hopelessly devoted.
Yeah.
It's got a little whistle to it and everything.
It does.
I don't hate it.
I'm sorry for
But that
this.
was
I
ridiculous.
just don't know which
apologize.
end of my whistle was in my armpit.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, we did the farts. with
Yeah,
that.
remember?
I use mine as a pen holder.
Okay, we're going to go to a caller and see if somebody wants to try it. Now, you can play Loop There It Is, too. A game
You
that
have
we
the
know
option.
that we have success with. All right, we'll go to Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks. Andrew, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
And by the way, we appreciate you continuing to listen through this.
I'll be your guinea pig.
All right, what game do you want to play?
The one where you
Do the instrumental part?
Yeah, instrumental.
Okay, who would you like to play with on the show?
You, Preston.
All right, me.
Music Mouth.
Marissa has handed me a variety of titles here, and I can't see them. I'm going to pull one randomly. I have to look at it, and I have to let him try it no matter what.
Now, for context, this is the first time you've ever met Marissa, correct?
Yes, first time ever. Okay, so here, I'll show you guys the title. This is it.
Okay.
Can I see it again, Preston?
Okay. I want the camera to see it. Did you see it?
I'll show it to you.
Okay, okay. I got it now. Yeah.
All right, and then I have to do the music part of this. All right, you ready, Andrew?
I'm ready.
All right. Wait, no, I have my lips closed. You got a different game. All right, here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
You didn't get that?
Have the song.
I didn't
I
get
will.
it. No.
Okay. All right.
I'll give it to you one more time, all right? This is me imitating a guitar. Splan it and plan it and plan. Splan it and slant it and dan. Stand it and dan it and dan. Dan it and dan it and dan.
Is it?
Bing,
should I
dang,
stay
ding,
or should I
bing.
go?
Yes! See? You did it!
You did it!
You magnificent son of a bitch, Andrew!
Slant it and slant it and dan.
Blinky!
What's that?
You left out the blinket.
I was already in the song.
I got
I
you.
wasn't doing. We don't have to do it from the very beginning.
Please.
Yeah.
It's any. I mean, come on. What do you want
Are
from
you
me?
going to play this seriously or not?
I am amazed that he got that.
All right, Andrew, you're a winner. What are we giving him?
Yes,
something?
we are
Or
going
we're just
to-
playing for fun.
No, we're going to give him tickets to
It's going to be
see
that way soon.
Andrew Santino, the fresh is
Peach.
that Freeze.
Freeze Peach Tour.
Yes.
Friday, January 24th at the Met. How about that, Andrew?
All right. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Yes.
All right, hang on.
What you thought was going to be a titanic waste of time has now yielded you tickets.
Yes.
How about that?
How about
See,
that?
I believe in these things.
I think I need mine now so I can
Do
think
it.
about this.
Do it.
Oh,
Give me one now.
So you don't want to choose randomly?
I don't know that I don't think I can do it. I
Okay.
really
Do you
don't think I can do it.
Do you want to try a practice?
I will
one?
let only Kathy pick out one. Is that
Okay.
okay? Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, absolutely.
I need
she'll
to think
play.
about this.
But what if she doesn't know the song?
Well, she'll pick one she knows.
Take the whole stack.
Yeah.
I'm letting you choose.
Shoot.
No, so she's going to cheat.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll get to see ahead of time.
Yeah.
The rest of us will go for it. I think
Yeah.
we're better than her.
Because honestly, if I get
That's not
chosen
it.
to do Music Mouth, I think I want to go off book. I got one in my head already.
No. Part of the fun is
Okay.
you being put on the
You
spot.
presented. You've got.
That's why I want you to choose randomly.
Okay.
Okay.
So
and I
what
can-
if you're presented with it and you don't know it, Casey? That's a possibility.
Okay, I have a question. Do we want to try out today? You do what you know, and then next time we'll
I think
try
stick with the
at
original
random?
rules. I think these are
I'll
seem to
play.
be.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to play American rules.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kathy.
American rules. What?
Let me go to Dylan. Hi, Dylan. You're on the air. Good morning.
Monkey pick ass.
Ah.
Monkey masturbate.
Very well done.
All right, Dylan. What game do you want to play?
I would like to play Music Mouth, please.
All right,
Music
and
Mouth.
Who would you like to play with?
I think I'll go with Steve.
Wow.
Steve.
Can you pick Kathy?
No, I need.
All right, I'll do it.
That's
All
all
right,
right.
all right, I'll try it.
All right, Steve. Choose randomly.
All right.
What song you're gonna?
I'm sorry, I can't grab it. I can't. All right. I can't.
Steve has chosen a song randomly. Let's see if he knows it.
Okay.
And this is not the lip closed one. I made that mistake.
This is going to be, I think it's the home one.
Okay, Dylan, here we go.
Ready?
Yeah.
The final countdown.
Steve's good at this.
Nice work.
He's got the whole
trumpet
mouth
thing.
trumpet.
Yeah.
I mean, it had to go
Fair.
synth because that's what they're using, right?
Yep. All right. And Case, it looks like we're going to give Dylan tickets to the Philadelphia Tattoo Festival.
Yes, we are. You got the copy right up there to your left.
Thank you, Casey. Hang on the line. We'll get your information. And don't forget, you can. No, that's Tattoo Tuesday. Where am I looking?
Fourth down.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 3-day tickets to the 27th Annual Philadelphia Tattoo Arts Festival.
Yeah.
You can get tattooed by 1,500 of the world's best tattoo artists. That would hurt.
If you could get 1,500 tattoos in one afternoon, that'd be terrific.
See live human suspension, sideshow acts, and more. January 24th through 26th, Pennsylvania Convention Center. You get tickets at villainarts.com.
I wonder if anyone has ever shown up and got like basically a clean canvas and left like one of those
No
head
doubt.
to toe.
Yeah, people do that stuff all. Well, I mean, maybe not head to toe, but people will go there and just go. Yeah, they'll just go toe. But I want to say, guys, we haven't seen this young woman in a long time. But Tattoo Tuesday, you guys remember Jen?
Yes,
Jen Folietta. I saw her over the Christmas break. I was getting
Jenny Bones?
Yeah, Jenny Bones. I was getting my
I thought
daughter's.
she hated us.
No, she hated me, but she actually likes me now.
Okay.
There is a little bit of a misunderstanding, but I went to her shop. I was around the corner getting a cell phone fixed, and she said to say hi to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
doing great. She's got her own tattoo shop.
Who does she hate on the show now?
Nobody.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nobody.
she
Everybody's
didn't
good.
like us for a while.
No. There was a misunderstanding where she thought I was making fun of her on the show, and I wasn't. I was just asking a question. But anyway,
All right.
and
Where,
so Yeah.
Where's her tattoo shop?
It's right there on the corner of Eagle Road and Westchester Pike in Havertown.
And she has her own shop?
Yeah.
Is she still burying dead animals?
You know what? I didn't get into that.
Okay.
She was in the middle of tattooing somebody, so she stopped what she was doing. We talked.
Okay.
And she's doing great. She looks great.
All right, that's good. All right, let me go to Chris next. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, we're trying out some new games. What do you feel like playing?
I think I'm going to do the Music Mouth.
The Music
Music
Mouth.
Mouth.
Okay, and who would you like to play with on the show?
I'll go with Casey.
All right, Casey.
All right.
Choose randomly. There's only 3 left.
All right, put it back in the deck and shuffle.
All right. Okay.
All right, Chris, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is the instrumental portion of the song.
I got a quick question for you. I want to ask Preston.
Okay, hold on.
Are you wearing underwear?
I would not do that. That's a vocal part.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, okay.
All right, hang on.
Anything vocally we're staying away from.
Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh. This is really hard when you get put on the spot like this. All right, you ready? Chris.
Yeah, most as I want to be.
All right.
Come on, Chris, you're going to do this. I know it.
That's the vocal part.
Wait, you can't do the vocal?
I thought you could. You're only doing the music part?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, that's the only music that I know from that song.
You know it.
All right. Chris?
No, I don't.
I actually know what it
I
is.
want to see if any texters might know what that is.
Because right after that guitar part is something that is vocal. They're not like
Sure, but I got it off what you did. I got off.
Do you guys want to include the vocal? I mean, the
Here's the thing: is if you stick to if you as a musician, it's easier for you to pare down to the musical part. And a lot of times we might be influenced by the lyrics. But in that case, I think these songs are that to me was obvious enough from what you were doing.
Yeah, this is like the equivalent of making up a backyard game, and you're just kind of making up rules as you go. And you're like,
As
wait,
you go.
I don't think you can do
like,
that.
Like ball.
Yeah.
Is Nick? We getting responses?
1.
All right,
So
that's all we needed.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Island in the Sun?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Weezer, Island in the Sun. Okay. Well, we're this is why I want to flesh this out. We have to do this.
This
on
is
the
a
air.
lab.
You don't know until you try it out.
You know what's really funny about this is every single time I was about to start, I almost did should I stay or should I go by the
Right,
Clash.
right.
Kind of similar.
All right, we'll try another caller, and we have Craig who's on. Hi, Craig. Good morning. All right, Craig. What game would you like to play?
Loop, there it is.
All right, we can do that. Now that one we know works
Yeah,
for sure.
this was a tried and true.
All right, Loop, there it is. Andrew, I'm going to play a clip of a portion of a song that is looped over and over. You identify the song, you win. It's that easy. Here we go. Okay.
How
Sounds
frustrating.
like a giraffe's heartbeat.
Craig, any idea?
Seven Nation Army.
Yes! Well done.
He's the man.
That is absolutely
done.
it. All right, Craig, hang on a second. We're going to give you tickets to see Andrew Santino, the Freeze Peach Tour, which is Friday, January 24th at the Met. And tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster. All right, we'll go next to Craig won that, right? Yes? All right, we'll go to Todd. Hey, Todd.
Good morning to see you.
Good morning, Todd.
Todd.
All right, Todd, what game do you want to play and who would you like to play with?
Music Mouth, and I'm thinking Preston. You may give me the best option.
Okay.
All right. I will pull one. We only have 2 left, so I'll pull this one on top. Let's see if you know how this or what the title of this song is. You ready?
All right.
All right, here we go. I'm stopping right there. That's all I got.
You're going to kill yourself.
Todd?
But you seemed like you were having so much fun doing it.
I know.
You know what it is, Todd?
And I am blanking on the names.
All right.
Last chance, Todd.
You know.
All right. Anybody want to get it?
Is it Frankenstein?
It's Frankenstein, Edgar Winter Band. Yep. All right, sorry, Todd. There it is.
In the original Frankenstein, the Boris Karloff version, it starts much the way that Saturday Night Fever starts with Frankenstein walking down the street to that.
To that song.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I recently saw on a Midnight Special a video, old video footage of Edgar Winter performing that song live. And the interesting thing about that song is I've never known what was guitar and what was synth in that song.
So what did you learn?
So in the... First of all, the drum solo part is with Edgar Winter playing a set of drums and their actual drummer behind the drum kit playing as well. So they're going back and forth. It's kind of a battle back and forth. And then the part that I always thought was a guitar is actually him playing keyboards, which is pretty wild. There's a big keyboard solo.
It goes into that trippy, right?
Yeah. It's really cool. All right, we'll try another one. Let's go to Tim. Hey, Tim, good morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, bud. What game would you like to play? We have Loop There It Is, Loop There It Is, Music Mouth, or Lipless Lyrics.
Let's do Music Mouth.
Okay.
Music Mouth.
Who would you like to play with?
Did Kathy get to go yet?
Kathy?
There you go.
You have a song over there.
And you picked a song. You can do this.
I know. I don't.
Would you? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do lyrics because I don't even. I can't. I don't know.
You're going to include the vocal part.
It's
So
gonna be.
yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that you understand this, Tim, Preston has sort of given
Wow.
goes.
Just gonna let her do
She
that.
can do a little bit of it. Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't.
Well, she gave him a beer.
I couldn't even give a hep hep. I couldn't even do hep hep.
But I don't even understand how to go beyond the beginning without doing the lyrics.
It's the equivalent of ladies' tees.
Right? Yeah.
All right, let's have you try with Tim, all right?
Sexist.
I don't make the PGA
Talk
rules.
about golf.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, anyway. We're ready for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Go right now.
Wait, and this is with my mouth closed, right? This is
No,
Oh.
the mouth open.
Kathy,
like what I just did.
We're coming up on a heartbreak.
See, all right.
You misunderstood.
Can we do the other one? Well, because how can I do it without the lyrics?
Let me see what song it is.
We're coming up on a network
Show me the
break.
damn thing. Hang on a second.
Wait, dude, look at the clock. We're coming up on a network break. Can you do it now, Kathy?
I could do this.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't I can't. I can't do the
let me see.
music
Do
part
me a
and
favor.
not the lyrics. Like I don't understand.
Sure you can.
All right.
Let's do it
can you-
together.
Can you harmonize? Why don't you go over, Preston? Can you whisper it in her?
No, I can't.
Whisper it quietly into the mic.
Like I can do it with my mouth. Let's just do the mouth closed one.
See, this is because you're immediately thinking of the chorus.
Yeah. I don't
would
know
start
what
off
else
by
would
going.
I didn't think about that. I just didn't think it was going to come out.
Wait a second. That 2 seconds that just happened made this all worth it. To watch Kathy look like a frog with a head injury.
Did you get the song?
No,
Oh, you didn't?
I was too busy laughing.
I can't.
Hey, Tim,
I don't
did
even
you
know
get
what
it
you're
yet?
I might be. Is it Living on a Prayer?
Kathy, you're so good at this.
doing. Did you get it from me or Preston, Tim?
From you, clearly.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
In
Well,
fact,
Tim
Preston,
wins no matter what. Hey, here's what we'll do. I got it. I've got it.
Okay.
I do the music part and you do the vocal part with your lips closed.
Okay.
Sing with your mouth closed.
Oh, is this the I thought this was the intro.
It is. And then.
Are you nervous, Kat?
She's amazing.
I can't.
Tommy used to work on the
I know.
dock.
That's what I was doing it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
She's humming.
Tim, you won. Hang on. I'm not going to make you hang on
Did the
any
Eagles
longer.
announce who's doing the national anthem this Sunday yet? Because
I'm humming
we
it.
got somebody who can fill those shoes.
Oh my God.
They're going alternative routes.
So do me a favor. Try that by actually saying the words Tommy used to work on the dock
In my-
with your mouth closed, with your lips
Okay.
closed.
All right.
Go ahead.
Stop looking at me.
Okay,
Okay.
everybody look away.
You're just humming.
But I'm saying the words.
You're
Like,
articulating using your tongue
Yes,
and everything?
yes.
Okay, try it again.
Now,
that time I heard it.
You
Nailed
did?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
All right.
Thanks for the pointers.
Yeah,
We'll
no
be back
problem.
next week with more of this dumbass game.
By the way, that's not a good look on you.
Would you rather play this or yes or no?
I think I'd rather play yes or no.
Wow. Wow.
What are we giving Tim?
All right, Tim, you just won a pair of tickets for the Philadelphia Auto Show. It is going on now through the 20th, and it's at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Tickets are on sale, and all the information can be found at phillyautoshow.com.
All right. I think this was a tremendous success.
It was.
And I think we'll add this to the pantheon of
Did
games.
people win?
Yes.
They
did.
Did they get it? Yes. Did they get with something we thought they might not? They did. I think every component worked well.
Can we do one more or do we have to wrap it up?
Yeah, we do one more.
Okay. Because we have, I guess we have a couple more. Where's my damn music? And where are those pictures I was supposed to see? All right. We will go to Tyler. Hi, Tyler. Good
Good morning.
All right, Tyler, do you know what game you want to play?
The music list one.
The Music Mouth. Okay.
Music, that's it.
And who would you like to play with?
I'll play with Kathy.
You just had a huge success. He's
I
only.
believe in you, Kathy.
Yes.
Okay. I have one that Kathy can do.
All right, good deal.
All right.
I was done.
How about this?
No,
You think you could do that?
Okay.
Now, this is the one where you're not doing the lyrics, you're doing the actual music part.
I got to do the beginning.
Whatever. I think it repeats over
all right,
and
hold
over
on.
anyway.
Come on, go to your space.
No, I think I have to do the lyrics.
No, because the melody, hang on a sec. Hang on, Tyler.
Okay.
The melody is the same as the melody of the lyrics of
So
the
I'll be
chorus.
okay?
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Yeah.
You're with friends.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. And am I speaking? Is my mouth opening or closing?
Open.
Oh, so
How does it start?
So it's like he did. Dan, Dan, Dan. You can do like that. You can do full mouth.
No. Do the chorus. Do the chorus because that's the same as.
He's whispering into her headphone. He's whispering into her headphone.
I'm still whispering.
Okay, come on.
Didn't catch fire.
Yes!
I'm gonna give it to him.
We didn't catch the fire, but whatever.
Yeah, did he say we didn't catch the fire?
Same song.
Yeah.
He got it.
Kathy.
Last time I did the chorus, so I thought you wanted me to do other.
But that's actually how it starts
Yeah.
musically.
Oh, okay,
Remember?
okay, got it, got it.
And you remember JFK, A-OK.
A-okay.
He didn't catch the fire.
No. All right, Tyler, hang on. Here's what we have for you. We're going to give you a pair of 3-day tickets for the Philadelphia Tattoo Arts Festival. Tattooed by 1,500 of the world's best tattoo artists. You can see live human suspension, sideshow acts, and more January 24th through the 26th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center.
Yeah, that's. I just bought a tire.
Yep. So I guess when it gets to the I guess are we going to be okay with doing the melody
I think so.
as well?
Sometimes it's
just
gonna be
too hard,
especially when they're so interwoven.
Okay, well I'm glad we worked that out.
All the rules
All right.
are available at PrestonandSteve.com.
Now that we worked this out, we should try this on air.
Yeah. Sometime let's do this sometime on the radio. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And it's not because we run out of prizes.
No, not at all. We are going to take a break. When we come back, I saw our guest is here. Yep, we have FitDadCEO himself. If you follow him on Instagram and TikTok, you know him. You know Dave, but we'll meet him in person when he gets in here. So stay put. We'll be back in just a moment. Lauren is kind of picking around in her brain.
Whoever he is, he's not a nice little boy.
Right. 5 seconds left.
I'm just
Okay,
gonna put a
might as well.
guess in.
Go ahead.
Albert.
Incorrect. I'm sorry. Nick, what does that mean?
That means with 8 points, Steph is our winner. Oh my God!
Steph is the champion.
They are so evenly matched.
Oh my
Wait, what was it?
Yeah, who was it?
Piers Polkis.
Loser.
Please.
I mean, I don't. That was neck and neck.
All right, just for fun, we had more questions, and we're never going to use these for anything. And while we have Steph as the winner of the Tri-Wizards Cup here this morning and the self-proclaimed expert of the Harry Potter universe, just for fun, let me try out a couple of other questions for you guys. Who was the freed female house elf who neither wanted? All right, let's go to Lauren.
Winky.
Winky is correct. How about this one? Okay, let's see what you know about the making of the films. Christopher Columbus directed the first 2 movies. David Yates directed the last 4. Who directed 3 and 4? All right.
Alfonso Yates? I know it's Alfonso.
All right.
I know it's Alfonso.
There were 2 people. Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire, respectively, was Alfonso Cuarón and Mike Newell.
Okay.
All right, and then one last one. Let's see. What'll be a good question? Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. What are Snape's very first words to Harry, and what is it believed they allude to? That's a hard one.
Snape's very first words to Harry.
You'll never get it because it's really intricate. So the first words were, "What would I get if I added powdered root of asphodel to an infusion of wormwood?" And apparently, an asphodel is a member of the lily family, and wormwood can be defined as a state or source of bitterness or grief. Snape is alluding to the death of Lily Potter, Harry's mother.
Wow.
So that's supposedly some of the lore, but that was like
Oh my God.
insanely hard.
That makes me want to cry, knowing that fact. I didn't know that.
That's in the
Yeah.
first book, and then you know what you know about Snape much later on. But it's that's how layered and how intricate and how complicated the books are, and why it's so much fun to go back and rewatch the movies and reread the books.
It's poetic.
Every time I reread, I find something that I'm like, well, how did I not see that before? Like it's a connection.
Well, you guys, I mean, you just put on a Harry Potter clinic. I mean, that's some amazing stuff, and you were neck and neck for the whole thing. It's just amazing.
Steph, I am now proud to bestow upon you the honor of the Preston and Steve Tri-Wizards Cup for your triumphant victory in Battle of the So-Called Experts.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Be careful when you hold it by the snake handles. They are a little bit sensitive, and we
when
don't
she
want that.
first grabbed it out there, she was like, it's not a port key, is it?
Yeah, I'm like, this will not lead to my death, will it?
No, you're safe.
You guys are awesome. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. We hope you had fun. All right, and there it is again, folks. We've done it. We'll have to come up with some of the. If you have any suggestions of some good topics for Battle of the Self-Proclaimed Experts, let us know. We'll certainly take those into consideration. There's loads of things that we can go to in the worlds of entertainment and sports and history and whatever it may be.
And some of these things are so voluminous, you could, at some point, you may have to, Steph, defend your classification as the champion of all champions.
Yeah, you never know.
It's so big. There's so much to hit upon.
Yeah.
I did mean to mention this earlier, but we're going to also award Steph and Lauren passes to the Harry Potter exhibition that's coming to the Franklin Institute next year. So they haven't announced the official dates for that yet, but it'll be at some point in 2022. It's the world premiere. It's going to happen right here in Philadelphia at the Franklin Institute. The Harry Potter the exhibition coming to Philly in early 2022.
Excellent, and thank you to Eva Josines for the Tri-Wizard Cup that we had. She fired it in her own kiln, made it from scratch. It's beautiful, and now Steph is the proud owner of that. So nice, excellent, great work, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us. We will return shortly.
Preston and Steve
on 93.3 WMMR.
A youngster inadvertently earned his parents a citation when he told a Michigan DNR officer that there were no life jackets.
I'm from Michigan, and we have not enough life jackets.
One last story. Netflix reports that the company's 183 million subscribers are watching more international fare during the coronavirus lockdown. CEO Reed Hastings said that La Casa de Papel, which is also known as the Monkey Heist, has managed to garner 65 million eyeballs.
Would you want to watch the Monkey Heist?
And that Germany's...
Look at that monkey took a banana.
Isn't it the Money Heist?
Money Heist.
Where did you get the monkey from? Perhaps the monkey is stealing the money.
I told you to take the money, not the monkey! What am I going to do with all these monkeys?
The monkey has eaten the money. I told you not to put the bananas in the same bag with the money. Shut up.
Oh, my God, Preston, I'm sorry.
I'm such an idiot.
Falcon has flown. We've got the monkeys. Come again? We've got the monkeys. Right here on this paper, it says Monkey Heist.
La Casa de Papel means money heist. Money.
I would like to watch the Monkey Heist.
Oh, well, who wouldn't?
Oh, God.
And also Germany's Unorthodox, I think I got that one right.
Yeah.
And Italy's Summertime are doing well on Netflix. So,
God damn it, what are we going to do with all these monkeys?
internationals.
I don't know how we ended up down this path, but that kid does that in that scene in the gym, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, so
We took a long-
onions, unions, poop on the floor.
If we do the track, we'll find out where we went.
Shouldn't we do that to jump rope, Casey? Onions, union, poop on the floor. Onions, union, poop on the floor.
Right, Kat?
I'm not taking part.
No,
Come on, Kathy.
Come on, Kat.
Come on, jump in, Kathy.
Come on, Kathy.
Onions, union, poop on the floor.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor. No?
No, I'm mad at you. I can't believe you're part of
What?
this.
No, that's a good chant. Vito Spatafor.
My mama said that you want more.
Onions, unions, poop on the floor.
We're double dutching now.
Come on, man.
Can you double dutch, Kat?
I can't. I've
Me
always
neither.
wanted to learn. And
Okay.
I can't.
Could
Were
we
you
try
too
that in the
afraid-
studio? Because I can't do it.
Were you too afraid to jump in the middle?
I couldn't time it
I
out
just-
right.
yeah, I can't time it. I can jump rope. I'm an amazing
done
jump
it.
roper.
Can you do it?
You can
Maybe.
double dutch.
Yes, I can double dutch.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
You don't remember that song?
No.
double dutch.
No.
Double dutch.
Oh my gosh.
The double dutch bus. You guys don't remember that?
I do remember it,
Of
yeah.
course.
You don't remember that?
No.
That's the story that you remember on the air the other day, and I was about to crack the mic, and I come on out of the song, and I go, Casey, don't ever say something to that like that to me right before I turn the microphone
That was
on.
it?
Imagine
That was what he was telling me.
You travel that way, but it's good to know. It's good to,
Yes.
you come prepared.
It's
You don't go
outstanding.
camping without a shovel.
That's hilarious. Good for him. All right.
I know somebody who has to get those sheets too.
Really?
Yeah.
Rubber sheets?
Yeah. It's like a sex mat.
Wow. You? Okay.
I know. Why? Why? It's just that
Why would your mom share something like that?
Not cool.
Not
Listen, we
cool,
bring up her
dude.
dad all the time. It's fair game.
No, yeah, and she has to buy a sex mat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Some of those videos might be real. The woman was reportedly uninjured and escaped without a scratch. No further information about the couple charged by the bison was immediately available, but it's funny because she hits and boom, she stays still.
Wow.
And they leave her alone.
There have been a number of stories recently about people getting far too close to these bison.
Yeah, they get gored.
They're getting gored.
He charges her, and then as soon as she falls and plays dead, he just kind of sniffs her and like runs away.
Yep.
Oh my God. Jesus. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I got a word for you. It's called douche.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's some nasty smelling stuff out on the plains there, but
Yeah.
come on.
I live in the wild and nothing I've ever smelled smells like your crotch.
Jimmy rides a motorcycle, and he's got something to say about as far as getting used to driving. Hey, Jimmy, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's up?
Hey, yo, bud. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what threw me off real quick is I've been driving bikes for 25.
He just crashed.
Just crashed
my
his
God.
motorcycle. Jimmy? He might have.
We lost him. Jimmy, we appreciated you listening.
His final words were, I've been driving.
Never had an accident, not even one time.
Hey, I didn't know Exxon had fuel trucks in it. I'm sorry, I just got to turn into the mobile station.
Terrible.
God, I hope he's actually okay.
Our next guest wrestles with the WWE, and he is from the area, and we were surprised to find out that he grew up listening to our show. We're stoked to welcome Mr. Drew Gulak to the program this morning.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, Drew?
I'm wonderful. This is really surreal. I did grow up listening to the show. I listened back when it was Preston, Maryland. And
All the way back. Y100, yeah.
Yeah.
I joined, it was Preston and Maryland, then Preston, Maryland, and
that's right.
Steve. Then
For just like a few weeks, and then then Preston, Maryland, Steve, and then Maryland went on her own. She'd bailed from the show, which we're still buddies with her to this day. And then it became the Preston and Steve show.
Well, there's a step in between where it was the McNeil Lair report, right between that and when Maryland left, and then we became our show.
Yeah.
We don't know why we did that. It was very stupid.
So it's pretty wild. The way we found out about you is you had commented on a post I had on Instagram, and I saw the little blue check by your name, and I'm like, what's this all about? And then we find out a little bit more that you grew up in the area. I was just so blown away to see you comment on my edible cheese board that I had made.
It was a beautiful edible
Thank you.
board, and I saw there might be another one.
I made one last night, and I brought it in.
I'm so sorry.
We're going to sample it.
I'm so sorry you made
No,
one
I need it. I'm working on it.
You picked a good one to dive in on, though, because we had the conversation, and we do the thing called the connoisseur, and Preston brought up this thing, and everybody's going, man, that sounds awesome. And then he posted the picture, like almost.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Our next guest has been having tremendous success on social media. His Instagram account has 1.6 million followers. On TikTok, he's got 1.3 mil, and he's local. He goes by FitDadCEO, and we are welcoming to our studio this morning Mr. Dave Ogleton.
Hey.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
Nice to see you, man.
Thanks for having
So,
me.
FitDadCEO. How long have you been playing this character or having this persona?
I've actually had the persona for years. This name goes back to like 2014.
Oh, okay.
I've actually just started using it in 2019 to actually create like real content.
Well, you came from fitness. Fitness was your prior career.
That was my prior, yeah.
And then, but this new iteration, which is proving to be
way more
very successful, 4 years.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for since 2019. Yeah, almost since like pandemic time. Yeah.
All right. So instead of fitness tips and things like that, you have switched over to what would you call your brand of entertainment, of content?
Parenting comedy, I guess.
Parenting comedy.
Yeah,
okay. All
yeah.
right. And by the way, you would know you have what, 6 kids? How many kids do you have?
6 kids. Yes.
6
Yeah.
kids. Ranging in ages from what?
Almost 17 down to he just turned 4.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a handful.
Every level.
It's a handful.
Yeah.
But it's hard coming up with content on a consistent basis. And, listen, you're not out there digging ditches, and I'm sure that you actually work harder physically, at times in your life. But for influencers and social media, celebrities, coming up with content and producing it and filming it and editing it and all that sort of stuff, it does become a major grind.
It really does. I go through points where I, almost am like just brain dead from not being able to think of ideas sometimes. And then I go through spurts where I'm just constantly coming up with ideas.
You bank stuff then?
Yes. Oh yeah. I was just talking to my wife about it. When you go through my notes, like you could scroll for days of how many notes that I've had for the past 5 years of content.
What about content that you create and you think it's good, and then like when it's time to post it, you're like, never mind?
That's usually the stuff that's the best.
Yeah?
I'm not even kidding. Every one that I think is going to suck is the piece of content that ends up going viral. And I'm just like, I don't even think that's funny. What is funny about that? Like, something is relatable about it when I post it.
I have to jump in here because that is the anomalous nature of this.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been, reading interviews with you and how you're assessing the way things going. Yes, you have a strategy, you have a plan of attack, but you're very candid about, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going to work.
Nope. I really don't. And honestly, like I think that's what I love about social media and creating the content that I do is sometimes I will even create a trend that will just take off and I didn't even mean to be a trend.
Right.
Or I'll take days to sometimes write a skit out and get it correct or what I think is correct. And I'll go to post it and it just flops.
Yeah.
And again, that's kind of like in perspective for newer content creators, they're like 100,000 views is not really flopping. But to me, from what I'm used to getting, it is. So sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. And I'm totally fine with it either way.
Dave, it's funny because, I've been a fan and following you for a while. And then friends of mine will start sending me your stuff. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know this guy. And then I don't think I knew until relatively recently, within the last 6 months or so, that you were local, that you were from the Philly area. And then we find out that we have like some friends in commons and stuff like that. Does where you create this matter?
I mean, it does and it doesn't. I love, especially a lot of like my sports content that I make. That's when people started realizing, they were like, wait a minute, this guy's like, he's an Eagles fan? Or like, he's like, and there's plenty of Eagles fans out there and they're not all local. But yeah, it does actually sometimes help in relative like to your location where you post because they will push it out to the local area first sometimes.
They help you along.
Just to help you along. Yeah. Especially if it's like, local sports. So
yeah, I got Philly stuff sent to me quite a bit. And I was like, oh, this guy's, I guess he's a Phillies fan. And I'm like, oh, I guess he lives in Devon. I guess he knows Matt Rovine. It's funny where these connections are made.
Yes, yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I follow this couple on TikTok, and I just last week realized they're from Philadelphia. They did a whole skit on the wife watching football with the husband and like pissing him off with her comments.
Yep.
And they were commenting on the Eagles, and I'm like, oh my God, I love this couple. Like now I love them even more because they're from Philadelphia.
But that's what's so great about social media is you could end up watching these people for years and not realizing that they're right around the corner from you.
And that's it's such a weird elusive thing because you're talking. I was. To get where you are right now and help us because everyone thinks it's like the gold rush. Everyone thinks, oh, it's you can easily find success. It's not the case. And then at a certain point, we talk about the draw of having to have that much content. I assume you at this point have some sort of a support staff, correct?
To
some extent.
My wife is always there if I need help filming something or most of the work honestly I do myself. I film it, I edit it, I post it, and I like it that way honestly because I have a certain way that I like to film and I guess edit the content as well. And so eventually, hopefully, I'm going to get to a point where it's big enough where I'm just like, okay, someone take this and do it for me. Take that off my hands. But I like doing that process. I like going through that.
Is it a full-time job?
It is.
I mean, this is what you do exclusively.
Yes, yep, full-time.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did that happen? When did it switch from being sort of a fun hobby to this is paying the bills?
It was the second that I started geting reached out to from brands and companies about promoting
Apple,
their products.
Lowe's.
Yeah.
What are some of the other ones you have? I have a list here. It's pretty impressive. Apple, Lowe's, Uber. The NFL has reached out to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So these aren't some fly-by-night organizations.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty. When I saw the opportunity was there to turn this thing into a full-time business, that was when I took it, and it was not far along into it. It was probably about a year into it that I was doing it. That I was like, okay, let's really make this a business.
Yeah, do you have work hours? Like, do you set aside time? No, you just.
I would love to say I do, but I don't.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, if an idea comes to me and I need to record it right then and there, I will record it right then and there. So.
I have to ask you because there's, your content's great, and these guys have introduced us to it, and I've seen it pop up now and then. But somehow, Red Fox has worked his way into your comedy, and I think it has to do with something we play quite often. Would you explain?
Okay, so and this is one of the things that, again, I love about what I do is this is what kind of got me on the map was my no dummy dad jokes. And I always try to give as much credit to Red Fox as I can because I did it inadvertently and I kind of threw it into a dad joke that I was doing. There was a lot of people that were doing dad jokes at the time.
We play this all the time, by the way, this clip.
Shut up, dummy.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's something that it must have just been in my subconscious, and I was trying to find a different way of doing a dad joke, and I saw this dad joke, and I went to go record it. And out of nowhere, I just said, no, dummy. And it just all of a sudden started taking off. And it was funny because half of it was negative and then half was positive. But the more I kept doing it, the more positive it got. And I was getting messages from teachers and everyone else. Oh, we share this with the kids all the time. They love it. They think it's funny. So I just found a different way of doing something that was old. And it's funny that it's two technically old things, Red Fox and dad jokes. And it just made it fresh and new again.
Yeah, that's great.
Do you think you might have to change how you do anything if there's a TikTok ban in this country in a week or two?
I mean, not really. I purposely started pivoting to Instagram because of the threat of it always being banned. And I love TikTok, but, if there's, I don't know, whatever the reason is that they're getting rid of it, if it's gone, it's gone. But that's also the reason why I like to focus on trying to build a business outside of social media, because Instagram could do the same exact thing.
Right.
They could go away at any time, and there goes my business. So I'm trying to pivot and focus more on like a brick and mortar, outside of social media business as well.
Do you have all your content? Like, where are you editing the content? Is it through?
It's on. I usually have all my content edited on my phone. Unless it's something quick that I know I can edit on TikTok or Instagram, then I'll do it on there. But the majority of it, I do it on my phone.
I don't think we're going to see TikTok go away. I think there's something will happen. Something will happen, and in some form, and everyone's trying their hand at it. But you have been getting acting offers and other things. And you're sort of very clear-minded about this. I thought this was very candid as well, saying you're writing it now, aware, as you just said, that it could change or morph into something else. So how serious are you entertaining some of these acting offers?
I mean, like I said, I've gotten not a ton, but I've gotten some. I just did a commercial that went at national, actually funny enough, for TikTok. And that's been running since, I think, May of this year. And someone actually just messaged me and said, "Hey, dude, I was working out. You just popped up on my TV and on at Planet Fitness." And so I would love to get more into the acting side of things. It's not something that's I'm super passionate about. But if the offer's there, I would love to pursue it.
What's interesting is that a lot of people have had an experience that was similar to yours, which is that this is sort of born of, I had time to kill during COVID. And also you approached the whole thing and your content, kind of the way we approach the show, diversion, make you happy, try, not bring you down. And that was always sort of the core, the seed of what you wanted to do, correct?
Yes. And it was great because at the time, there wasn't a lot to do. We were kind of stuck in the house, and that was where the ideas of a lot of these videos came from. And a lot of the comments I got were, this is actually helping to get us through our day.
Yeah.
And so I kept doing that, and that was really the main focus of it. And it's always the main focus. I just like making people laugh, and I'm like, if I can make money doing it too, why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great.
Dave, a cool video around Christmas time with you and Lane Johnson of the Eagles. What other athletes have you worked with? What was it like working with Lane, and anybody else that you really want to work with that you haven't yet?
So we've been trying to set something up with, and he's not a Philadelphia athlete, but he was a Philadelphia athlete, and I'm sad that he's not. And he's won championships with a team that I absolutely hate, Drew Holiday. And we're trying to do something with him. Lane's the very first big athlete that I've done something with, and I was really excited about it. Actually, when he reached out, I actually had to check to make sure he was an actual real Lane Johnson.
He reached out to you.
Well, yeah. So yeah,
was it through Instagram?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
But I was like, I've been trying to work with him for a year now, actually, and we actually kind of had something set up. I had an idea that I wanted to do almost like a pros versus Joes kind of thing, and it's just funny, all the legality of the Eagles. They're like, he would bury you into the dirt if you ever did any sort of pros versus Joes. So we're not going to take that on ourselves, basically.
Yeah.
But I have ideas that I'm going to do in the off season, probably with him as well. And his trainer actually helped to get it set up. The team that he has around him is awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be doing more stuff with Philly athletes. I don't know when. Their schedules are kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
If you're just jumping in, it's FitDadCEO that we're talking to, Dave Ogleton. I'm going to play a clip from one of your videos that you posted, and because dad jokes are part of what you do in some of these videos, so here's one of them.
I said to my son, "How does Harry Potter get down a hill?" He said, "I don't know, but Malfoy does by slithering." I said, "No, dummy." Running. JK. Rolling.
JK.
Rolling. See, I used to love it. That was my favorite content, because if I would, it seems like it takes 2 seconds to record this stuff, but if the joke was funny enough, I couldn't get through. I have so many behind the scenes clips of me trying to laugh to get through these jokes, and I think I've done so many now that I'm just numb to it. But that back when I first started doing it, it was so great.
Casey is he's our resident dad joke guy. And I know you're not going to do a dad joke off.
I don't have any banked right now.
What was the one you'd said this morning? Or no, there was one yesterday. But,
no, it was about the alphabet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It was around Christmas, yeah.
alphabet, and it's really similar to the English alphabet, but there's no L.
Yeah.
So my son, he goes, anywho. And I'm like, I know.
But I was trying to do a joke like that during Christmas, actually, and I couldn't get it right because of the 2 punchlines.
Yeah.
But the Noel was in there, and I couldn't figure out how to get the other punchline to work with it. That worked really well.
So when I do my dad jokes on the air, I don't like to do set up punchline. I like to try and lull these guys into thinking that I'm actually telling them factual stuff, and then there's the dad joke, and it lands perfectly every single time.
But that's the dad joke. The dad. See, I think that the magic in a dad joke is thinking you're in the middle of a conversation, and then bam, you just get hit with this thing that makes you roll your eyes.
You know who I saw today? Everybody I looked at. That is a great dad joke right there.
I thought you were being serious.
Yeah.
For a second.
And there you go. You got you in the setup.
There are two guys, now a cluster of guys, and they're sitting on folding chairs, usually on a dock somewhere.
Oh, yes. I know.
Dock Talk.
Right. And
Yes.
they've become very
They're great.
popular.
Yes, I love those
with-
guys.
Yeah. But your spins are different, and you consciously wanted to
Do something different.
Do
yes.
something
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember the first, what was the first video that said, okay, there's something here that you recall?
It's actually I can't even explain the first one. It actually technically went viral because it was just some random thing that I said. But the first video that actually went viral that made me think I could do this over and over again and be successful at it. It was a dad joke I did about fish smoking weed or something like that. I think what it was, and it was like seek kelp. Seek kelp. And that was the first one because I had celebrities commenting on it and sharing it and everything else, and I was like, are you serious?
And you're talking really, the Rock is like you, Will Smith, Khloe Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
So you have some heavy hitters. I was reading about the one, and I was looking for it. It was actually created by an actual incident where you were calling your kid's school.
Mm-hmm.
And that set off a video. Would you explain that? Because I think, not having kids, but I know any parent can probably connect to this.
Yeah. So if my kid's nurse is listening to this, my kid's school nurse, I've explained this 1,000 times. It was a situation where I was frustrated, and it was like kind of at the tail end of COVID, where you were still in that weird limbo of, okay, your kid's sick, but it's not COVID, so like, can you go to school still? Like, I don't understand this. And I think they must have called, and I was just like frustrated, and I started writing this down, and it took me one take to do that video, and that's still the video that most people remember because they were like, we all feel this video so much, and it was like basically the raising your kids in the 90s and raising them today is what the video was. And it was like, oh, your kid's sick, like, oh, maybe I'll go get them or whatever it is. And then, raise them or your kids you're raising today are sick. Okay, do I need to call this school? Okay, I called them, great. When do I need to pick them up? Now? When can I bring them back to school? Never? Okay, great, awesome. This is awesome, yeah. So it was a very relatable thing because it was almost like this, like, oh, well, when your kid doesn't have any symptoms anymore or whatever it is. And I'm like, your kids always have symptoms when you're in school. Like, what do you mean? Like, they have a sniffle or a cough or they're picking up some sort of weird influenza from someone. So it was just a very relatable video. And again, that gave me an idea that continued on and on and on with other videos that I did. And it actually kind of reminded me of a lot of ways that we grew up in the 90s and now that are totally different. So
can I ask how the revenue stream works for people who are in the social media game like this and making a living out of it? Where does that come from? Where does money come to you from?
I honestly, like all kinds of places. For me, the majority of it comes from the brand deals and sponsorships that I do, and some of the companies that you mentioned I work with.
So
Apple TV.
you'll enter into a contract with them then. So you have an agreement of X amount of content for
X amount of dollars.
For X amount of dollars, and then you have to support these brands in order to do that.
Yep. And it's, honestly, I love doing it because I've been able to work with some brands that I just never thought. I'm like, why do these people want to work with me?
Brands you like, right?
Yeah,
and so I assume that's where you would probably have some sort of representation who helps you with that,
yes,
correct?
Yeah, my managers handle all that stuff. That's why it's great because I can just kind of handle the content. And they tell me that all the time. They're like, we're here to help make your life easier.
Let me ask
you, just focus on the content.
So on that, and we're all curious about this because the ins and outs of it. It's my understanding that the agreement is you'll provide this amount, the projected amount of this amount of people seeing seeing your work or your content or your commercial, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And if you fall a little bit short in that, then you have to do additional bonus content. What is
I
the
don't
deal?
ever do that.
Okay.
And I know a lot of companies will try and get content creators to do that. Newer content creators will fall for that stuff. I don't. I even early on, I kind of knew like this is what you get. I can't predict how this video is going to do.
So that's a pitfall that some people might. So you're saying look out for that.
If they're trying to add more content in there because you didn't reach a certain threshold, that's to me is an automatic. Like I'm not doing this campaign. And I can't predict how a video is going to perform ever, and especially branded content.
Yeah.
You typically does the worst of any content that you post.
Because people still smell it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They know it right away. But the one thing and this is why I'm kind of obsessed with doing this, because I have this like internal challenge that makes me want to almost trick people into not realizing it's an ad.
Yeah.
And the people that do are usually will comment and go, son of a, this was good. You got it. Okay,
Hey, listen, comedy. So I used to, when I first started in radio, a lot of what I was doing was commercials, comedy commercials. And if they're entertaining, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah. Dave, I remember sitting in like promotions meetings here at the radio station 15, 16 years ago. And, a salesperson would come in and say to us, and like we kind of work in the creative field or whatever, hey, we'd love to create a viral campaign. We want to create a viral video. And you would just kind of like look back at them and like, yeah, we'd love to do that too.
We love to do that too.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so often no rhyme or reason to, like you said earlier, like why it hits and why it lands. But like if in the back of your mind, when you are creating something, is that sort of what the end goal is? Is that I'd like to create something viral, or is that just still so amorphous?
So that's always my goal, is to create something that goes viral. The problem with that is the companies, these companies operate like we're still in the 90s, and they want to create commercials like we're still in the 90s. And I constantly am like, when we're doing a brand collaboration, it has to be a collaboration. It can't be I'm saying XYZ because you want all these benefits of your product in here, because no one's going to give a crap about that.
No.
And that's the honest truth. And I'm like, they want to be entertained first, and then they want to hear one or two benefits of what it is that you're offering. And if they don't get that piece of you first, they're checked out immediately. And that's usually what happens when these companies like to push back on certain things that I won't say. Then I usually will concede and say, well, guess what? You paid for it. This is the performance that you're going to get from
right.
it.
Yeah, of course. In a way, so you also, we are employing what has been employed in radio and sales, media sales in general. You got to know your demo. You got to appreciate your demo. You don't condescend or and then you hit your sweet spots. But I mean, since for people who ever write copy or ever do anything in advertising, exactly, you just said some absolute biblical level rules. Don't inundate them with information. We always joke about phrases like conveniently located. What if I'm not conveniently located?
Yeah.
So entertain them, associate the good memory with the product, and you win.
Yep, exactly. And like I said, when I said the whole thing about, operating as if we're still doing advertising in the 90s, it usually is that. It's they want me to say things like, this cheese is homogeneous, and I'm like, dude, no one cares about that. Does it taste good? I'm like, did I make you laugh? And does it taste good? Like that's the only thing people care about. That's how they're going to remember it.
Who's your favorite? Too much information.
Way too much information.
What do you? You're essentially your own boss. You this is your career, like you said. But do you have like meetings with TikTok, Instagram? Do you have a point of contact where they're talking to you or you're talking to them?
I have a point of contact with Instagram, and she's really good about kind of keeping me up to date on things. TikTok has been the one that's been like, they're
no humans to talk to.
No.
Yes, but that would seem to be like a little frustrating. You're creating content for this company that you have no connection with.
This is that has always been the struggle with content creating and influencers, whatever you want to call it. We are the backbone of these companies now, and we are the ones who help to bring viewership to both of these companies, and yet they want to give us almost no support sometimes.
I would think the problem is you go away, someone else is going to step up.
They're going to step up.
And there's also, we talk about, for example, in the world of podcasting, there were 5 million separate podcasts on average last year, separate shows. 2.5 million of those have maybe 2 or 3 episodes and then stopped. So in the world of TikTok, where it literally takes just seconds to submit, you're up against a sea of competitors. So to Kathy's point, yes, in a sane world, they would massage the people who are bringing people to the app.
But they know that you can just drop off.
They
and another
just
one
know.
will just pick up.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what I see a lot of. And I will say, it's funny. I've been doing this for 5 years now, and like I said, I've grown a good following. And I will see new content creators pop up, and all of a sudden they're like the new big thing, and they're getting all the brand deals and all the this and that. And it's like, oh, that's awesome. But it's like, hey, I'm still here. So like, could you throw me a bone, or like, can you just give me a DM back or something real quick? I'm just trying to get an answer to my question. Like, that's all.
Sometimes it is, flash in the pan stuff, and sometimes they stick around. Do you have a favorite client that you've worked with, and is there somebody you're dreaming to work with?
I have. I don't know if there was a favorite client. I did do this one with Apple TV that was really fun. It was like this Mark Wahlberg movie that came out end of 2023, and they just basically wanted me to recreate this scene that I had to do with like a baby carrier on. It was this kip up that I had to do. And I actually I must have done this kip up about 100 times to try to get this thing. Never got it.
He's a spy, right?
Yes,
So he's
yeah. And so I had to recreate this thing, and it was a lot of fun. They basically were just like, just recreate. Yeah, that right there, that one right there. Yeah.
Is that your house?
That's my house.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So my house is my studio, and like I said, that was one of the most fun ones that I've done. One of the other things that I think is like really cool is I've been getting invited to like premieres and movie premieres and all kinds of stuff. So that was probably the coolest thing that I've been to. I got to go to the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere last year, and that was like, I'm telling you, when my managers called and they were like, hey, we got some good news for you. And they never call me unless they have something important to talk about. And we're driving up to the Poconos, and the whole family's in the car, and they're like, why are they calling you? And he goes, hey man, got some good news for you. And I was like, what's up? And he was like, got you that invite to the Deadpool. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I slowed down driving, and my kids were like, he's gonna cry. And they were like, and I'm not even kidding. I was almost tearing up, because it was like, that was like, I'm like the biggest comic book nerd.
Well, I see a Captain America shield on the back of a lot of your videos.
Yeah.
So,
I am like the biggest comic book Marvel nerd. Not just like MCU, like new people.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm talking about like all the way back.
Been there, done.
Yes. Yeah. So it was a really cool experience. Madonna was sitting 2 rows behind us at the premiere.
Oh, wow.
I was like, what is happening here? But yeah, it was very very surreal.
Oh, you're with the
Joe Gatto from Practical and Jokers, or in Practical Jokers. That's great.
But it's, as you said, it's hard work, and it's content, real people who are getting some traction, say all the time. It is, from dusk till dawn, and then past.
Yeah.
So weighing it out, obviously, well, you could be diffusing landmines and everything. It's something that obviously works for you. Enjoy the process of creating.
Yeah.
What would you say to the person who's considering really trying to throw their all into this at this point?
Don't throw your all into it.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to at this point. And it's the same thing as like, this old cliche of starting a business while you still have a full-time job. Make it your hobby at first, make some money doing it. And then when you're making enough money to be able to support yourself full-time doing it, then jump full in.
What about your own fitness business that you had initially prior to this? Is that something that is still something that
God, no. I was so sick and tired of hearing myself say the same thing over and over again. And that was the real. I'm not the kind of person who has like the client who's going to make a lot of excuses, because I'll just be like, get off your ass and go like do a sit up or something. Like, I don't really care. Like, so for me to be able to get out of it was like a godsend. And it was more of me saying the same thing over and over again that I honestly got sick of doing. So when this opportunity came along, I was like, yeah, I'm going full bar. Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Here's a text from somebody who says, hey, I worked with Dave and his wife Jackie at Applebee's in like 2008. Ask him where his collab is with them.
I mean, listen, Applebee's, you heard what they said. It's really easy. I can create some great content. I actually have a video that I've been wanting to do for a restaurant for a while, and I'm just waiting for one to reach out, and I'm just going to hold it for that. So.
Which Applebee's did you work?
The one in Ridley.
In Ridley,
yeah, on McDade Boulevard.
Were you a server?
Yeah, I was a server. Yes.
Okay.
What was your flair game like?
Oh, my flair game was crazy. I mean, I used to work at a restaurant called Famous Dave's, also a barbecue place. And,
that's in Springfield.
Yeah.
Wait, where are you from?
Delco.
I know, but where in Delco?
I grew up in Ridley.
Okay, all right. Because I mean that Applebee's I knew was the Ponderosa. That's my neighborhood when I was growing up. Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah. So I grew up in Delco, and I worked at the Applebee's for a little bit. I was at the Famous Dave's. I bartended there for a little bit, and the flair game was on point. I mean, I didn't have a specific number, but the fact that the restaurant was named after me was also a huge draw. So
were you rocking a lot of Marvel and comic book stuff on your?
No, none of that. Yeah,
that?
they didn't have any of that cool stuff back then. I'm sure I could find all that stuff on like Etsy and stuff now if I was a server, but no, yeah.
Nice. Well, listen, you're doing great, man. Congratulations on all the success.
Appreciate it.
I'm most happy for you because you're having fun doing what you're doing. And that's what all of us want to be able to do.
It's really it. It's the key if you can, man.
And if you haven't followed Dave yet, make sure that you do. He goes by FitDadCEO, Instagram, TikTok as well. And he's got 6 kids to support. So he's definitely earned that dad title and CEO. That's awesome, man. Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming by this
thanks
morning.
for having me.
Pleasure to meet you.
Appreciate it.
You got
me
it.
too.
Let's hear it for Dave Ogleton, guys. We are going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. B-File's on the way. Stay with us.
Took a crack at it, and everyone's going, man, that's awesome. So you dove in at the right point. If you're ever going to make a comment, the baked charcuterie board was the time to do it.
That's the ticket in.
That was it.
And this is only the second one I've made, so I do need to work on it a bit, so I don't feel bad at all that I had to make another one.
No,
So
I'm already impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
So where did you grow up in the area?
So to the age of 10, I lived in Montgomeryville.
Okay.
And then I moved to Fox Chase in Northeast Philly. And then I was there through high school, went to Drexel for 2 years.
Was it Northeast High that you went to?
Yeah, Northeast High School.
Right.
Most
were you
popular
studying?
high school in the city.
Where were you studying at
That's
Drexel?
164. At Drexel, I actually went to be an architectural engineer.
Okay, yeah, that's the school to go to.
That lasted 1 quarter because I did quarters there.
Yeah, dude.
Was it just too hard? Or
It's hard.
It wasn't so much that it was hard. I just wasn't interested in all the math.
Okay.
Do you know what the great part of architecture is? Building the little tiny replicas of what you're going to build. To me,
that was it.
That was always so
I'd
cool.
still be doing it.
Yeah.
Drew, when my very brief college moment, I took astronomy. I'm like, yeah, I've always loved the stars.
Yeah.
This would be really cool. It'll be really interesting. My God, was it hard.
It's physics.
It was all physics and math, and I'm like, this is not what I signed up for, man.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I
it was
had to bail
like.
on that. No
that's exactly what it was like. I switched into film for a little bit, and just decided I wanted to focus on wrestling, which is I've been doing that since high school.
So were you football or anything in school?
Wrestling team.
Just a wrestling team.
Just the wrestling team.
So you do have a classical wrestling.
Yeah, an amateur wrestling background.
How did you do in high school? How were you?
I did okay.
Okay.
So city kids have it tougher. Like if you grew up in the suburbs, you're probably doing wrestling from a very young age, and you're doing it a lot.
Yep.
And for me, it was like I met my biology teacher. He happened to be the wrestling coach, and he was like, "Hey, come try out for the team." And I made the team, and the practices were grueling and stuff. And I did pretty well. I think I made varsity senior year. It was captain senior year. Varsity maybe sophomore year, junior year. Yeah. So I did okay, but it wasn't like my one focus too.
Right.
While I was doing that second year of amateur wrestling, I started training professional wrestling, which was, I don't know, thinking back, I love talking about it because I would go from high school and then I would go to high school wrestling practice, and then I would get in a car, drive 45 minutes to Deptford at the time, and do professional wrestling practice till 10:30 at night.
Wow.
Then I get home and I got to wake up the next morning. I remember
that's commitment.
Man, yeah, it was grueling then, but I loved pro wrestling so much, and nothing was going to stop me.
So going from the amateur to pro, obviously, you got to work on the moves. You got to know what you're doing. You have to be proficient in the ring. But you also have to, is a part of that, being physically large. I mean, making sure that the muscles are big and impressive, because that's part of it. Looking at those guys, looking at you guys, you have to go, wow, man.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing outside of just the technique of wrestling. It's also, you got to look really good, too.
It's true. It's true. And when I started, I didn't even think about physique. I didn't think about strength training. I had a wonderful strength training teacher in high school, so thankfully I had that. I had the amateur background, so I was in shape. I wasn't huge.
Right.
I was maybe 180 pounds when I started.
We've talked about this, even in general, and wrestling goes through, the WWE, and you had been with Combat Zone as well. But right now we're in a I think you have the best athletes who are doing it, but they're not necessarily Andre the Giant size.
Yes,
it's not that. So what you'll get is you're getting like uber stuntman level stuff going on from guys who are really, I think, more athletic than they've been in a while. Would you agree with that?
So I'll agree hands down. Like we have the best athletes ever in the history of professional wrestling right now in WWE. However, we have a guy named Amos right now who's 7'4".
Well, you don't want to piss him off.
No. Right. But I'd say he's an even more impressive athlete than Andre was. As fantastic of an athlete as Andre was, and the way he would move around the ring. I'd say Amos, even though he's newer, he's got more potential athletically for sure.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're always going to have the showstoppers, right? You got your Andre the Giants, your King Kong Bundys, your Hulk Hogan's, Big John Studd, the big dudes that are the showstoppers, The Rock,
Undertaker.
Sure. But you also, I mean, you have your would you say pound for pound best wrestler of all time? Somebody like Shawn Michaels or
you can absolutely argue that. Yeah, totally.
And listen, Shawn Michaels is not, he's not a twig,
showstopper,
but he is also, he's just got such amazing athleticism that and that's what people go to see.
Yeah, I mean, listen. We've talked about this many times, and it is not false praise to say that the people that we have who come in are the wrestlers, are the best entertainers, the best with the audience. That's why they can port so easily, a la Dwayne Johnson, into movies. Yeah. You know how to do it, so a film career in your future, could be possible. Yeah. And so with that, I mean, I don't think there's any kind of training for being in the public eye and for doing that sort of work that's any better than the WWE and this world you're in right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Just the experiences I had, even on my journey to get to WWE and traveling around the world and learning how to make a career as an independent wrestler.
Right.
Very similar to like an independent musician has to find their bookings that they work, that they enjoy working.
Sure,
and, can make them a profit or get them noticed and merchandising and stuff like that. And then just meeting connections and growing. That experience alone, I feel like I can do anything. I can take on whatever I need to.
When did you learn that portion of it? Because you go to high school and you're a good wrestler, right? And that's athletics. But that, did you go to drama club? Did you learn how to write a script? Because there are these storylines that, as just a guy who's competing in wrestling, that you're not worried about that. But then you get into the entertainment side of things, and it really changes the dynamic. So how did you and when did you learn that part of the business?
So I would say that the high school wrestling, if anything, it didn't really push me into the pro wrestling career. If anything, gave me a good foundation athletically to kind of not get hurt in training.
Right.
The performance side of everything and the creative side of everything, that kind of grew organically for me just over time, gradually, because I was independent. I didn't have somebody strictly coaching me on just, you need to do this here, you got to do this, at certain times. I had to kind of experiment and find that out on my own. Now, I did work for certain places that had very scripted out storylines and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's another thing I had in my wheelhouse, just based on that experience alone. It wasn't one strict thing. I'd say it took me about 6 years to start to get comfortable and learn all of that and how to put it all together, just for me. That was my story. But just a very gradual experience learning the performance side of it.
What was mom and dad's reaction when
from architect
from architect?
What do you
engineer?
mean?
Yeah, right.
We had hoped you would put that architecture stuff aside.
That was not the conversation that we had.
There's no work in architecture.
No, it was interesting. My family, they knew that I was super passionate about it, but they didn't really get professional wrestling. They didn't understand it. So to do it on an independent level, that's real scary as a parent, seeing your kid just go and just mess around at these shows. You don't even know what's happening there. He could get hurt. He's not making money. I'm making maybe $50 to $200 at most. That's a really good payday on an independent level, for real. That's pretty scary as a parent.
Do you know what's funny, though? If you were to go, and I wonder if you go to your parents and say, I would like to become a Hollywood stuntman, or a wrestler, because essentially in this, what they call sports entertainment, there's just a nuanced difference between them, but still just somehow we think, but that has to, look, they look at your success.
Did you see the movie The Wrestler?
We talk about it all the time. It's amazing.
I was very lucky to be there when they were filming it at the arena in South Philly. My poster's in the movie.
That's awesome.
Little tidbit. Yeah. But one of the things I thought was so cool about when Aronofsky created that story is that he did it kind of in conjunction with Black Swan.
Yeah.
And he considered, originally they were the same movie, and then he turned the ballerina into a stripper, and that's where Marissa Tomei's character came from. So he made Black Swan separately. But when they designed that story, it was the merging of like what people consider a low-class art form and what people consider a high-class art form between wrestling and ballet.
That's wild.
And showing the obsession that performers can go through trying to reach heights in the same thing. Yeah.
But it's such
very cool.
it's such, and also I'll say this, in the evolution, you guys are always like whip smart. You know, there was this perception for the longest time, you know, these things.
Yeah.
But to conduct these things and to do this at the level you do it, you know, is very intense. And talking about getting your thing, what is your gimmick? What is your, you know, because you've got to have that immediate high concept thing that the audience can go, okay, he's this guy, he's the heel, he's the, you know, he's the bad guy or the good guy, or we don't know.
Bad guy, guys.
So let me ask you, given your druthers, what appeals to you more? The heel or the hero, or
being a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah.
I like both. I'm rare like that. I actually, most people would say that like, oh, I like being a heel because that's easier. It's easier to get people pissed off at you instead of you know, people to cheer for you authentically.
But I always
enjoy
love
both.
I always love the transition out of the bad guy who's suddenly like, wait a second, he might be good, because the audience tends to like, we understand this guy now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They know.
So many of them,
follow.
we're bad and then become good.
I think historically, too, those are the most successful kind of characters that take off. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin's a perfect example, where he came in when he started doing the Stone Cold character. Like, he was just badass, no nonsense, but he was beating up people that people really cared about. And you know, that was not enjoyed for a lot of fans. And then they started realizing he doesn't take crap from anybody.
Yeah.
And then it was a natural, organic turn. And then he became the biggest star in wrestling at the time.
Hey, do you as a wrestler get a say in your storyline? Can you suggest things at least?
So the most surprising thing that I've learned about working with WWE is how collaborative everything is.
Really? Okay, that's awesome.
Fans are usually surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
And I know like a lot of wrestlers who are trying to make it there are very surprised to hear that a lot of the time.
Okay.
Drew, you get to perform in front of fans again soon in person. It's been a year and a half, right?
Yeah, man.
And
we got
so
fans coming back.
And when and where?
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, let's see. Let's begin with this one. A woman has told how she has natural pea cup-sized breast, which won't stop growing due to a rare condition.
What is that, gigantomastia or something like that?
You know what? I don't know if it says it in this article or not.
It's also known as big knocker syndrome.
Paige Amelia suffers from, gigantomastia.
Okay.
A rare condition which causes rapid breast tissue growth. And she has to shell out thousands each year on $170 a piece for custom-made bras.
Wow.
And new clothes every time her cup size goes up again.
$175 per bra?
Luckily for her, the mother of one from Melbourne, Australia, she makes over $366,000 a year on OnlyFans because lots of admirers like her fuller bust.
Kathy, that foot thing's looking better.
But maybe if you have your feet keep growing and they never stop,
Oh,
Kathy.
God, no, that's
something
different.
else.
I don't know if people are into that.
But the condition leaves Paige with severe back pain, although she fears reduction surgery would be pointless if they would just grow back again. She's inundated with messages from trolls and constantly has to tell people her breasts are natural when she's labeled plastic. She also has to fend off as many as 40 messages inviting her on dates daily. She said the growth is sporadic. Sometimes it stops, and then all of a sudden, they grow a lot in a month. I tried to buy stretchy tops so that there are more space when they grow, but I'm always on the lookout for new clothes. And she said the bras are custom made. They cost about $170 each.
I didn't realize that. So with a condition like that, I thought once you reached the level of maturity that you had finished the growing. But you're saying that this condition is perpetual.
Gigantomastia can be caused by a range of factors, including hormonal changes, medications, and autoimmune diseases, but Paige's cause is currently unknown. In January 2022, her bust was 39.4 inches. By September, it had grown to 44.9. And by May of 2023, it hit 54.7.
Jesus.
How much do they weigh?
And then by now, she's at 56.2 inches. While she rakes in the cash on OnlyFans, she has to deal with the physical pain, trolls, inconvenience, and social judgment. She said she'd consider going under the knife for breast reduction surgery, which would cost her around $10,000 after the support from the Australian healthcare system. But she's afraid that it will be for nothing if it doesn't stop her breasts from growing.
How does she have such a successful history in track and field?
Yeah, I don't know. She's insanely talented. Now, a different adult star, Annie Charlotte, has recently gone viral due to her extreme rare condition known as uterus didelphys, which means she has 2 vaginas, 2 cervixes, and 2 uteruses.
Hello.
At 26-year-old, Annie is open about her condition on OnlyFans, and she uses a speculum to show her fans what her anatomy looks like up
Now
close.
that's entertainment.
It's no surprise that she received some unusual requests from her subscribers. She said, one guy bought my bath water for $4,000.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
Oh my God.
She said, I sent him a photo of me in the bath, scooped up some water into a jar, and shipped it off to the U.S. They wanted to ensure the water had been exposed to both of my vaginas.
You have to ensure that. We need a notary.
She also revealed that her most popular video requests involved putting her underwear up in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She started selling these videos last Christmas and charges
Glenn Close used to do that.
$650 for both pairs. That month, she made a staggering $30,000 just from selling her underwear.
Well, there's a purchaser for everything, isn't there?
Annie revealed that she earns an impressive $20,000 a month from her OnlyFans income, primarily through streaming video games. She spends 6 to 10 hours a day playing popular games like League of Legends, Call of Duty, and Black Ops, as well as any other trending game.
So a quick question. Is she, in fact, capable of getting pregnant if she has 2 complete sets of reproductive, right? She has a uterus. She has 2 vaginas.
She has 2 uteruses, so I think she might be able to do that, Steve. Yeah.
She could carry twins in separate rooms.
During her streams, Annie receives some outrageous requests. She said, I had one guy buy my mouse pad for $1,500. All he wanted was for me to sit on it.
He specifically wanted the mouse pad.
She said, I also had somebody pay $300 for my toenail clipping.
Oh my
God.
Yeah, right? Right?
I mean, I'm not keeping them. I'm throwing them in the trash. So
Well, there's money going right out in the garbage.
pack them up in a nice gift box.
Money to be had.
And you could even, with your activities, make the box look nice.
It's like I'm just throwing away money in my trash.
So this gal is really making a mint off of that. All you need are 2 vaginas, Kathy. You're good to go.
Oh.
You got 10 toes, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to get this because this took place on Sunday. Hundreds of Londoners headed down to the underground on Sunday afternoon, stripped down to their underwear, and traveled around a bit, trying to look as though nothing unusual was going on. This was the official No Trousers 2 Bride, an annual event with no point other than injecting a little bit of levity into the bleak midwinter. No deep meaning, no bigger motive. The only goal was to be a bit silly for the afternoon.
Completely nude below?
No. So you're wearing underwear.
Okay.
Dave Silkirk said there's so much bad, so much not fun going on. He's the guy who organized this. But he said it's nice to do something just for the sake of it. After gathering the entrance to Chinatown, dozens of clothing anarchists trooped through the icy streets to the Piccadilly Circus Underground station in central London, where they boarded their first train. The first stunt in this vein was held actually in New York City in 2002. And it was everything but pants. But in England, they call it trousers because pants are synonymous with underwear.
Yes. So this looks benign. It's like they for a while they were doing 2 Vaginas Tuesday, but there was only 1 participant.
The idea took off, and no pants days have been held all over in Berlin, Prague, Jerusalem, Warsaw, and Washington, D.C., among other cities. London hosted its first big reveal in 2009, and now they do it every single year. So they're
It's kind of like the Undie Run.
It's like the Undie Run. It's a lot like that. Yep. All right, and then we'll do one more, and we will wrap it up. Yeah, let's go with this. I believe this is a follow-up story. A former school leader is suing a former colleague, the school board, and the district. Eric Eiswert, the former principal of Pikesville High School in Maryland, is taking legal action almost a year after his voice was allegedly used in an AI-generated audio clip containing a litany of hate speech.
I remember this.
Eiswert is suing Dejan Darian, the school's former athletic director, who's accused of generating the audio clip, as well as the Baltimore County Board of Education and the school district. Eiswert accuses Darian of conspiring with other district employees to spread the recording. Darian was arrested in April on multiple criminal charges that include stalking, theft, disruption of school operations, and retaliation against a witness. And the case is expected to go before a jury later this month. And that's what I have in the bizarre file.
I wonder if he could use the software company that created the AI. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they would be at fault for this or not. But.
So when you do that, whenever you do a duplicate a voice, they make you have to check a box. It's sort of maybe their tacit protection that you are not doing this.
Yeah, but if you're the victim, you're not checking a box or anything like that.
Right.
So,
for example, if the person that he's suing, the company would. I assume you can sue anybody.
Yeah, I guess
if
you're
you
right.
want to. So, but I mean, they at least when I've used AI replicators, they have that step.
Probably some gray area, though, in that case, I would think. All right, and that is the B file. Let us take a break. We'll get some music news when we return. Trash and lesson question 2. And don't forget, today's Tattoos Day. Text the word tattoo to 39333, and you might win that Preston and Steve Show themed tattoo from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing at 1729 South Street in Philly. We'll be right back.
So I believe it's the second week in July. We're doing a tour in Dallas. It's going to be SmackDown in Houston, and I believe Money in the Bank is that weekend in Fort Worth, and then Raw, which is the show that I'm currently a part of, will be in Dallas. And then from there, we just kind of go.
That's cool.
You know what was the proof that what you guys do is effective is that bereft of an audience when you were conducting it, it sort of looked like a wild stage play, like Arthur Miller meets wrestling. And yet the fan base stayed, for the most part, locked in.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, so if you didn't have the ability to riff and to, it was just such a weird thing. The audio from a lot of those matches is some of the funniest stuff because, you always hear the crowd and the murmur and the whole thing and all that punctuating.
Yeah.
And suddenly it became, like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And it's this weird thing, but you guys were able to do it. You know?
That was an amazing experience, not in a good way, but just not in the best way. It was just unique and amazing to be a part of that. Like Vince McMahon is very dedicated, extremely dedicated, and like there was no way he was going to stop the show. He had to keep the show going. We did it.
Do you think anything's going to stay? Is there anything that you guys gleaned from that will stay with the post-COVID world of wrestling?
I think technologically we advanced a lot of things.
Yeah.
Building the Thunderdome, which is what they called the live stage that they built. Testing things with like augmented reality for people's entrances and just that kind of stuff all got laser focused on because we were in a sterile environment at first. So you'll see a lot of that carry on to the live events in new ways that you probably haven't seen yet, for sure.
I'm going through your Instagram, which is just it's definitely a fun scroll here.
Yeah,
but
thanks, man.
There's a picture of you and the Nature Boy. I mean, that is, for a fan, like you're a fan before you were an employee, right? Like, so, and it just says always an honor. So when I read that, I go, oh, so you've met and hung out with Ric Flair more than one time. Like, that's got to be so cool.
It's awesome. He comes by all the time, even if he's not, featured on the show. His daughter, extremely successful wrestler, Charlotte Flair, very talented. So he'll come by and like watch her perform, or he'll just come and support the other wrestlers. And
Well,
Rick's awesome.
I got an email from a guy. I wasn't going to say anything I didn't know you had a connection with Ric Flair. I got an email from a guy who was desperately trying to get Ric Flair to be the best man at his wedding.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted me to ask you about it. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
He's got a wedding reception website.
No way.
I wouldn't doubt it. But
He's also a moil.
Yeah, need a Preston.
He'll be a
But honestly,
Ric Flair was my moil.
How much is that guy willing to pay, and how much is what's the number for Ric Flair to do that?
Right there.
Probably.
I got to imagine a couple 100,000.
I've mentioned this before, but I grew up just as a kid detesting, hating, I thought he was the most vile human being, Ric Flair. I hated him. He was so mean to everybody. He was such a show-off. And it wasn't until I was a full-grown adult, well into my 40s, that I was on YouTube, and I pulled up a video of, like, Ric Flair's greatest rants. And I didn't know how much entertainment that guy had given me as a kid, and I just fell in love with him.
Yeah.
I did, because I literally, I was like scared of the guy when I was a kid.
That's how I felt about Sergeant Slaughter. I was like legit. I was like, oh my, because I saw him like whipping some guy, and I was like, dude, he's beating that guy with a whip. Like, that's right. Like, what if he comes to my house?
It's so great though that becomes. That's the stuff you carry with you through your life.
He stole Harley Race's cowboy hat and crumpled it up, and I'm like, you don't do that, And I was just, but I didn't realize it until later that it was actually a really, those memories are so fun to think about. And it was something special, man. And you're creating those memories for some people.
Yeah, it's surreal. Like, that's it's really cool.
All right.
I don't take it for granted.
So Ric Flair is undoubtedly a legend, and everything that the credit is credit due, right? But I was texting with a friend yesterday, and I am so exhausted by the Ric Flair woo at Phillies games and Flyers games. It personally drives me nuts. Have you heard it, and do you have an opinion on that? Like, have you ever heard fans? They do the woo.
So of course, I will be in a crowd randomly outside, and people will say woo.
Right.
And it's like just knowing where it comes from. It's really cool. I take pride in being a part of that community. The yes chants. Have you heard those?
Yes.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Exactly. Someone who I was very close. I'm very close with. So like that kind of stuff is awesome.
But it turned to no for a while too, or something, right? That confused me. Or he was saying no, or.
Well, you're a good guy. Yeah.
I know. He's
how it works, man.
He's been by here a bunch of times. I like him a lot.
He's great.
I never get tired of the woos. I'm okay with them all the time. My neighbor across the street from me, whenever he comes outside, if we're outside, he goes, woo!
Seriously?
And he's older, too.
Well, what reaction do you give him when you go
I give him a woo back.
So he's going to do it every time.
And then I do it to him. So now when I see him, I go, woo! And
That's
he
your
goes,
thing.
woo.
He thinks you're best friends.
It's like Screaming Slayer, right?
That's right. Here is a storyline I'd love to see for you guys.
Okay.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Drew Gulak. I just want to reset from WWE.
Thanks.
Here. Yep.
And I think this opens up a new, perhaps a new audience. What about the Paul brothers? Maybe we call those guys out because they love the boxing and the MMA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And let's see him get in the ring with you,
Jake
Jason.
Paul and Logan Paul.
Yeah,
We had Logan Paul at WrestleMania this year.
He actually, and the reaction was pretty good. From what and you can, dismiss this as BS if it's not the case, but they talked to some of the wrestlers and they said they gave him props.
Yeah, I'd like to see a tag team match.
I mean, I think there's potential in your storyline idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I will say that celebrities coming in, it's always like it's a good way to cross over and bring new audiences. We had Bad Bunny this year.
Oh my God,
he's like one of the biggest artists.
Well, what about Dua Lipa? I think maybe if you bring her in.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can, you want to make it happen. We can.
Oh, he's got a lot of ideas.
Some phone number.
Like a plot line that mimics Steel Magnolias would be really good.
Right. Exactly.
That was not my idea.
No.
Terrible.
Now, I also read your younger brother had wrestled as well.
Yeah. So we did it together. We trained together.
He didn't make the cut though, or did he not want to try for
no.
the big show?
He was, I guess he didn't really get to the WWE level, but in the independent career, a very successful independent wrestling career.
What do you think, like the big leagues in any major sports? So to become the amount of people that play football and the amount of people that make it to the NFL is minuscule. It's microscopic. What about wrestling? Because there are so many independent wrestling groups out there.
So I would say, from training, from people who start training, I'd say it's about 1 in 10 who continue on just to wrestle in general. And then on the independents, now there's more jobs than ever in wrestling with, AEW starting up on TNT, WWE just expanding.
Yeah.
And then some other promotions, being able to actually, offer decent wages for people now. So it's better now than it's ever been, but I'd still say it's about one.
We have a $500 prize to give away for our Word of the Week prize. And it's from Better Man, the true story of Robbie Williams. So we'll get our second letter from Pierre in a little while, and we will give away that prize on Friday. We hope you're going to be with us for the entire week. In the meantime, something else for you to win. Lesson question prize, a Wrapped Up in Love diamond necklace from Steven Singer Jewelers. If you can answer this question about the show correctly. When I stick my head in the trash can, what new character do I become? 215-263 WMMR. From early this morning, 7:20 or so. I had to go diving in to find a story that I dropped into the garbage can. So when I stick my head in the trash can, what new character, like the noticer and the connoisseur, do I become? 215-263 WMMR. If you know the answer, call now. We will do this while we're waiting.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Paramount Pictures. Better Man, from the director of The Greatest Showman. Better Man tells the extraordinary journey of British pop icon Robbie Williams. Better Man is in theaters now. Get your tickets today at bettermanmovie.com. What's up, Steve?
Well, rapper Sexy Red posting a video showing off her new $40,000 boob job. Red decided to spend big on the surgery because she really needed something to distract from her face.
Hey!
Hall of Fame Olympic swimmer Gary Holt Jr. confirming he lost 10 Olympic medals when his house went up in the Palisades fire. The 50-year-old Hall is taking it in stride, saying things could be worse, adding that he could have a flailing barracuda chewing on his nutsack.
Oh, my God.
And finally, HGTV star Christina Hack says she would not be against getting married for a fourth time. Hack says in marriage, if you don't succeed at first, do it over and over again until it means absolutely nothing.
All right, let's see if we can get this correct. We're looking for the answer to this. When I stick my head in the trash can, what new character do I become? And we will go to Chris, see if we can get that. Hi, Chris, you're on the air. Morning.
Hey, good morning.
All right, Chris, when I stick my head in the trash can, I become what new character?
The Garbage Man.
Yes. The Garbage Man. Hang on, Chris. Got yourself a Wrapped Up in Love diamond necklace from Steven Singer Jewelers. And Steven's Wrapped Up in Love diamond necklace features a braided circle of precious metal and real diamonds wrapped around a heart. And you get it now at IHateStevenSinger.com for just $148.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you by LaSalle University. Advance your career at LaSalle University, and you can choose from over 30 graduate and certificate programs. You can visit lasalle.edu/grad-open-house to get started. So Tommy Lee has blasted musicians for promoting their tours and album releases while wildfires have leveled areas of Los Angeles. On Monday, the 62-year-old took to his Instagram to write, "Makes me effing sick to see most people just carrying on a posting on lame-ass social media." He said, "Guys, right now, nobody gives a flying F when your record drops or the next concert is, or when so many people when so many people are in the middle of one of the biggest disasters of all time."
That's not true. Listen, we all have, our hearts go out to everybody out there, but we're not suffering wildfires here. So I understand. I do care about things that are coming to my neck of the woods.
Yeah, there's some people that kind of live in a little bit of a bubble that this is all you should focus your efforts on because I or my friends or people I know are going through this, and they think that it's a little tone deaf. Some people, listen, I was talking to some people that I know recently this week that didn't even know this was taking place.
Okay. Yeah.
That the fires were taking place because they just don't watch a lot of news.
By the way, there's still a whole bunch of people still dealing with hurricane damage in the Carolinas. And so it's all relative. He later thought better of it and said he felt it was probably being influenced by his penis.
Okay.
No, but he said, he added, "I get that some comic relief is always needed, but Jesus Christ, leave it all alone and maybe just stop and see who needs help if you can." Now, elsewhere, and this makes a little more sense, Disturbed's David Draymond condemned social media users who derive pleasure from this misfortune of victims of the wildfires. And he wrote on Instagram, "There are people on this platform cheering on the destruction caused by the Los Angeles fires, delighting in the misery and misfortune of others. Nothing justifies this. No reason, no cause, nothing. Absolutely scum the lot of you.
You know what was wild? I saw Henry Winkler, of all people, the most, probably one of the nicest guys on the planet. We were talking about the stories about the guys who are going around sort of exacerbating the issue by setting up fires and he, if you can find the text, Nick, he's basically saying, may you die a horrible death. That's Henry Winkler.
Yeah. Several high-profile rock musicians have lost their homes, including Primus guitarist Larry Lalonde, Iron Maiden's Adrian Smith, and among musicians who were forced to evacuate were Brad Wilk of Rage Against the Machine and Anthrax's Scott Ian on top of that. So, Nick is pulling that up here, I think, in just a moment. But, here we go. There is an arsonist here in L.A. This is Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
May you be beaten until you're unrecognizable, the pain you have caused. So,
yeah.
There you go. All right, and then only one other music news story, and then we'll take a break. Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. has announced the 67th Grammy Awards in close coordination with local authorities to ensure public safety and responsible use of area resources will proceed as planned. The CBS telecast is scheduled for February 2nd, and the CEO revealed the show will have a new motive, which is raising additional funds to support wildlife relief efforts and honoring the bravery and dedication of the first responders who risked their lives. The Recording Academy has already pledged $1 million through their nonprofit Music Cares to the Los Angeles fire relief effort. Mason Jr. adds, the Grammys will not only honor the artistry and achievements of our music community, but also serve as a platform to amplify the spirit of resilience that defines this great city of Los Angeles. And this comes as new major labels like Universal Music Group and Warner Music Group have canceled all Grammy-focused events. So, but it's a couple of weeks off from now, and hopefully things are contained.
Yeah, you would like to think so.
Now, they can, of course, if it worsens, they can postpone it then.
Yeah.
So we'll see what ends up happening with that. And that is all I have in music news for you. We are going to take one more break. When we return, we'll get that letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize and wrap up our program. So stick around. We'll be back in a moment.
I don't know, 100 to try to go on to really maybe even 1,000 depending on how many people there are. Yeah, it's a pretty small amount.
Do you remember your first match in the big league?
Oh, in WWE. Yeah. I was a part of the Cruiserweight Classic when that came in. It's all timing. If anyone's listening out there as an independent wrestler, it's all timing. Just keep working.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a tryout with them in 2015. I did not get hired from the tryout. They could only take one person from my group out of 72 people.
Wow.
There was maybe 5 or 6 wrestlers who were experienced there. The rest were all pro athletes. They could only hire one of us. So the rest of us were all told, maybe something in the future, guys. You did great, thanks. So I was just like, okay, just be patient. And then a year later, they started this thing called the Cruiserweight Classic, which they wanted to honor the athleticism and the history of smaller wrestlers, being more competitive. And they created this tournament, and they needed, as William Regal told me, they needed groundsmen, and I was a prominent groundsman.
Right.
So they brought me in for that. I did pretty well, made it to the second round, had a good showing. Then they took that show and they took our division and made it a featured attraction on Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
So before I was ever offered a WWE contract, I was wrestling on Monday Night Raw and their local, their pay-per-views, their monthly pay-per-views. And so I would go from my independent wrestling show
to Raw,
to the pay-per-view show, and then drive to Raw the overnight and do the Cruiserweight division. And then later on in the year, I was able to earn a full-time contract. They started up 205 Live, which is still going on today. And that was their first experimental streaming show that they created based on the Cruiserweight division. So I got in at a very cool, where technology meets wrestling, and everything grows. It's very historic. Very lucky.
Let me ask you, so we know Vince McMahon is the muckety muck, but I mean, there's now so many tendrils to this world. Is there a second person who's who he can delegate to, who's the overseer of all this? Because it seems like it's just too damn much for Vince to be, checking everything all the time.
So that's the one thing that I don't think you could ever say to him is that something's too much for him.
Right.
Yeah, so he's very much like still at all the shows and running the shows and sitting backstage and doing that. And then NXT, which was originally developmental brand and has now become the third brand for WWE. They have a show on USA. That's run by Triple H.
Okay.
And he's kind of doing what Vince did there with that show.
All right, so how many nights of programming is there a week with WWE? And all the
across
central,
everything. I would say 6 or 7 right now, per week. Yeah,
and they're in all
let's list them. So we got Raw, that's on USA Network. Yeah. We got NXT, which is on USA Network. We got SmackDown, which is on Fox. Then secondary shows we have NXT UK, which is in the UK, and that's now on Peacock. 205 Live, which is on Peacock, and then we have WWE's Main Event, which is like a pseudo recap show, and then some exclusive matches. I'm featured on there quite a bit.
Right.
That'll be on Hulu.
And then
I think that's
pay-per-views once a month.
And then pay-per-views once a month. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a ton of entertainment, man.
Yeah,
That's a ton of stuff.
Plus NXT has their own pay-per-views too, so those are happening I think 6 times a year.
And they're in different cities every like.
They will be going forward. Yeah.
Oh man,
just talking about all this has made me hungry.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get to that, Preston.
We have to.
That's why this man is here.
Marissa is now going to bring in my edible charcuterie board that drew the attention of Drew Gulak, and we are now going to sample this. Here it is. I don't have any fanfare music or anything like that, but
all right, Case.
Oh, you know what?
Here we go.
Marissa, can I get a knife to cut the brie, please?
Yes, to cut the brie. That's probably something you hear a lot in wrestling.
Is for cutting this. So I'm going to let Drew sample this. And actually, you're supposed to just kind of like grab it and tear it. Okay. Now, keep in mind, I put this in the fridge overnight. It probably would be better if it were fresh.
Fresh off the grill?
Yeah, fresh off the grill, exactly. So,
Drew, that can be your catchphrase, your new catchphrase and phrase. Somebody get me a knife so I can cut the brie.
Cut the brie.
No, but I do like fresh off the grill.
I like fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill.
Fresh off the grill, brother.
We can start a restaurant.
I added a little Hulk in there, but
this bread has all sorts of little cheeses in it.
And what did I call the honey divot?
Where's the honey divot?
Charcuterie. All right, so I'm gonna.
He has to have the first taste.
A little corner, you can grab some cheese or meat, and this is honey that you can dip it in.
Is that the honey divot?
I think Casey said he wanted to feed me.
I did.
All right. Well, maybe that happens.
Not the first bite, though.
No, he has to. A man has to share alone time with his
I don't want to.
charcuterie.
All right, so what do you recommend?
Distracted. I would go with the piece of bread, a piece of brie, just to start with, and dip it in the honey. So
you grilled this.
Yeah, I grilled it.
That's amazing.
So grab a little piece of brie there. You can tear off some of that if you want to.
In there.
And then
you said some honey?
Yeah, dip it in a little bit of honey there.
Okay. While he's doing this, it's bothering me. You know when someone reminds you of somebody but you can't figure out who it is? It's another athlete.
Dornbos.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah. He reminds you of Dornbos?
Yes. It's the way he speaks.
Okay. He's got a bite. Is it a little crunchy? Or yeah, because you got a corner piece. So.
You picked the crunchiest part.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Hey!
So we have breakfast of champions right
Now Casey's going to, I think he's going to feed Drew a piece of it. Yeah, because they went on social media about this.
Okay.
Casey had said he would like to feed him a piece.
Maybe a little less crunchy.
Okay, I'm gonna
Something that won't blow his teeth out of his skull.
The corner's very crunchy. I apologize.
No, it's good, man.
It went a little long.
Good.
You know, Casey gave an enema to Ric Flair once, so this is
That's where the woo came from.
That's where the woo came from.
You created the woo!
All right, so you want some meat?
Yeah, give me some savory.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
that the
from
woo came
enema
from that.
for Casey.
Yeah, a little prosciutto.
Yeah.
I would recommend this cheese right there. That's called Prima Donna. It is a Gouda. It is fantastic.
Okay, Prima Donna.
And you can either go with the honey or not. It's up to you. So
good.
All right, Case, make this matter.
That's a big piece.
He's
he's a big man.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Buddy.
All right, he is
No,
now-
Case, do the plane.
Yeah.
Do the plane.
Yeah, can I get an airplane?
Who's a big boy?
From the top row, from the top turnbuckle.
From the top turnbuckle.
Oh, my God.
All the way into Drew's
That's a
mouth.
first.
So, yeah.
So this thing is so it looks so good. I got to try some.
When we get into the break, you guys can have at it. I made it for here. We can. The staff can help themselves.
Drew, how's your barbecuing and cooking?
Give him a minute.
Is this something you think you could tackle?
We need some water.
Yeah.
buddy.
No, that's good. So, yeah, grilling. I know nothing about it.
Okay.
But so I just bought my first house. And, thank you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Where's home for you, by the way? Now.
So right now I'm in Orlando, but I
Okay.
come up to Philly as much as I can.
On the auto train.
Yeah, I just take the auto train up there on the gyrocopter.
Right. The Vince McMahon gyrocopter.
the Gulag copter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Orlando.
Yeah, so you just got a house. That's cool.
Yeah, we just got a house down there.
Nice. And are you married?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, my wife Liz.
Any kids or
no kids?
All right.
Did you ever see an alligator in the wild?
Casey is obsessed with actually seeing an alligator, not at Gatorland.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, dude,
out and about.
So the only thing we wanted to do since moving down there is like, where are the alligators? See 'em? The only time I've seen one, we visited Kennedy Space Center, and they're just on the side of the road.
Oh.
You spend enough time, you will see your share of gators, and they also have the snakes and the.
I saw one at the airport. I mean, God, smacking that thing. Soul on fire. 93.3 WMMR. It's everything that rocks. Oh, let me see here. 10:26. We're getting ready to wrap up the program for today. An interesting day today. We learned a new game.
2 new games.
We tried those out. Smashing success.
Absolutely.
Especially on Kathy's performance.
I mean,
brilliant.
Savant.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Chuck
have
was
to
like,
say.
you were great. I was like, I'm never playing that again. He's like, yeah, I figured.
Chuck loved it. He did. Chuck's our boss. That's a good thing. And it was called Music Mouth and Lipless Lyrics.
Oh, okay. Then we did not play Chimney Sweep's Testicles.
No. But that's another time.
Okay.
That's on the list. I'm keeping a list over here. We want to thank our guest, Dave Ogleton.
Yeah.
Dave stopped in. He is known as FitDadCEO. He's got millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram, and he's local.
Great guy.
And he's made a career out of social media now, and he's thriving. He's doing great.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to kind of pick his brain about that stuff. And because I'm very curious about that world and what it takes to eventually lead to it being a full-time job. That's what he's done.
He says, if you're going to start it sort of as a cottage thing.
Yeah, he said a hobby, and then if you find at some point there's money to be made and you're making more money, then slowly you make the switch over.
Either that or take out a bank loan and buy a whole bunch of equipment. Right? Quit everything.
A massive loan, so you're going to get the best of the best.
Yes.
I also want to thank our friends from Wawa.
Yay!
Stopping by. They were here to talk about Mornings Made Easy, which is a new way for customers to save money and simplify their morning routines from now through February 16th. Members of the rewards program can visit the locations and redeem your bonus offers as well. And your points, it says here that the Wawa rewards program lets you earn the points on eligible purchases at Wawa stores using the Wawa app, registered Wawa rewards key card, or registered Wawa gift card. They brought by some goodies for us, and we thank them very much for that.
I thought I had a decent amount of points when it comes to Wawa because I use my rewards app every day. I have 1,037, and then I said that on air one time, and people were just like, you suck.
Poser.
Yeah, I'm a poser. Casey's daughter was crushing me.
And I'm crushing her now, as a matter of fact.
How many do you have?
Wow.
I'm pulling up my app right now.
I haven't even looked yet.
Right now, I have 3,423 points.
All right, so let me ask you, Casey, because it's a great app. Why don't you cash those in?
I always forget.
All right.
Yeah.
Because with 1,000, you can get a shorty. And that's so I like getting up to 1,000, and then I cash in and get myself a shorty hoagie.
Where do you? Oh, I have 1,900 points.
Oh, you might be in classic hoagie territory, Preston.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I do not use mine as much as you guys do, and I already have 19 points.
I'm in pizza territory. I'm in panini and hoagie territory. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to go to the rewards store, and then you can see what your points can get you. Yeah, and you scroll down.
I could get a pizza.
Yeah.
I could get paninis.
Preston,
I could jump off the high dive.
specialty sandwiches. Those start at 1,200 points.
All right.
Get yourself a salad or a classic hoagie.
To be honest, I'm not a rewards points type of person.
Yeah.
I don't go and look at these. I'm glad I now looked at this. I'm going to go use this today.
And you know what? It is, I think, National Pizza Week. So maybe I'll celebrate with a Wawa pizza, which is good.
All right. We want to give what?
I got to use my app more.
Yeah.
I dart in. I use the quick checkout so much, and I'm in and out so quickly. But when I've used it, when I use the app, I use it because you order ahead.
Yeah. Now every time I want to get a sandwich, I'll order ahead with the app
because you guys are cleaning up,
and it's look at that, freebies. All right, it's Tat Tuesday. Let's give away.
Oh yeah,
our Tat Tuesday. We would like to congratulate Mr. Craig Lennox of Runnymede, New Jersey. Craig got himself a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. You can see them at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. And for artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com, or you can check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. All right, Casey, letter of the day. You going to do it?
I got you.
All right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by the letter.
U as in underwater city.
All right, and we're going to give away $500 from Paramount Pictures' Better Man, the true story of Robbie Williams. Better Man is based on the true story of the meteoric rise, dramatic fall, and remarkable resurgence of British pop superstar Robbie Williams, one of the greatest entertainers of all time. And it's in theaters everywhere now from Paramount Pictures. I'll take this moment to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin', also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. Tomorrow's a Wednesday, so we'll have a secret text word. We will go live on Fox Good Day. We'll have a gentleman by the name of Jordan Marcus who will be joining us. He is playing Michael Jackson in MJ the Musical.
Yes.
I hear he's fantastic.
That's what I hear as well.
So that should be a pretty cool interview. So he will join us, and we'll see what else we can do tomorrow as well. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you later, gang. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.